Going on? Welcome to the chat. We have a special, well, I guess it's not special, it's a Monday night live. How's everybody doing today? Good, I hope. Let's see, let me drop the link for my guest to come on in. How is everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Good, I hope. Did you guys watch Dancing with the Stars? Did you guys text? And I quote for Kenya. Hold on, y'all. We need to make sure we get the code right. Did y'all vote 21523 for Kenya for Dancing with the Stars? I hope y'all did. Please tell me you did. Vote 21523 for Kenya. For Kenya Moore. Kenya Moore, here. How's everybody doing tonight? What's going on? Hey, Mel. What's going on? Hey, TG. Hey. Not paid by anyone. What is going on? I just dropped the link for you guys. There's 35 people in the chat. I see only 3 people commenting. Why y'all always so shy when y'all walk into this room? Let's see what is going on. Okay. Let's do this. So, listen, I have a few guests tonight, of course. Mel, NYC, he's waiting to come on. I just want to have a few words with you guys before I did. And of course, Miriam. Hey, Miki, what's going on? Hey, TG, 21513. That's right. Let's text it for B. Girl, what is going on? What are you up doing so late? It is 2:41 in the morning, babes. What are you doing up? I'm so happy to have you. One day you're going to actually come on one of these lives, B. B has a voice like warm caramel, and she has the wit to match. One of these days, I'm going to actually get her on one of these lives. Cut the B being like, no, but it's nice two things. Yes, Dancing with the Stars has started. Just remember to vote Kenya. Just vote Kenya. Even if you don't watch the show, time it and vote Kenya. We should have a watch party where we're like, all right, everybody in the chat, vote Kenya. Mm. Hey, what's up, Peñas? Yo, you know what? Funny thing that the Peñas are here. I have a little tea on the Peñas. But it's a little awkward bringing it up while they're in the chat. But you know what? Hey, the Peñas. I love that. The Peñas. Listen. You're eating cake at 2 a.m. in the morning. I hear that. Hey, Moni Loves. Hey, Kathy. I have a little tea about the Peñas, but I want to wait until more people are in the live to spill it, right? I want to wait until more people are actually in the live to spill it. I got not paid by anyone coming on as well. You know what? Let me get them in the chat. There's 54 people here now. We're going to need a few more people to get in, but let's also talk about, let's kick it off, right? We're going to bring in Miriam, and we're also going to bring in Mel, New York City. And let's start off because it is about Real Housewivesing of Atlanta casting news. And let's not make it awkward. So we are going to start with, hey, Miriam, what's going on? Hey, Mel, NYC, what's going on? We're going to talk about what is going
on. Good evening.
Good evening. We're going to talk about what is going on with the casting of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Okay? So there is, right? I always get sent stuff right before I come on. Sorry. Woo! So there is a new woman that has been announced. B. Scott is reporting it, right? So it's not 100% confirmed, but I'm going to be honest with y'all. I know you're all be like, oh, whatever. But I heard about this about 2.5 weeks ago, right? So this tracks with, again, B. Scott has way better sources than I do, right? Do not make it seem like I have like hookups or connections with the Real Housewives of Atlanta or Bravo. But I will say that B. Scott, from what I hear, he's actually spot on with this because I've heard it from 6 people that this is the next housewife. If you guys don't know who I am talking about, sorry guys, let me pull her name up. I am talking about the former Olympian Santa. She is a former Olympian, Santa Richard Ross. She joins the Real Housewives of Atlanta for season 14. Do you guys know anything about Santa, or do you guys need me to run down her bio for you? First of all, is anybody excited about this? Does anybody know who Santa is? Be honest.
I never heard of her before. No
I
idea.
didn't either. I didn't know people clock the Olympics like that. Like I know I stand Sha'Carri Richardson, but I was like, no shade to her, right? But I was like, huh. It's like if they said new to join Dancing with the Stars, TisaTellls. Most of y'all be like,
No,
who?
and yeah.
Exactly. Oh, you got your Kenya Moore hair care. Most of y'all would be like, who? Who's TisaTellss, right? No shade to TisaTellss, but who is she, right? So listen, Santa, let's see. Santa is let me give you her bio. She is of course an Olympic athlete that is good. She is also, hold on, I just had her thing. But let's talk among ourselves because listen, for the season 14 of Real Housewives in Atlanta, one of the reasons that she got hired, word on the curve is, right? That literally, so check this out. Porsha has been playing hardball, right? Because when all that scandalous shit happened, she was at her pinnacle, right? And you know Bravo loves a good scandal, right? They don't care. They don't
Uh-huh.
care, right? So she was at her pinnacle. She thought she had the world in hand. She was really playing hardball with negotiation, right? The only thing is because somehow Simon got exposed. I don't know. I don't know who did it, right? But somebody, some genius, one of the foremost minds of our generation, put together an expose on YouTube about Simon Gabodia, right? So but basically, it wasn't even that. It was just the fact that Simon's story wasn't adding up. They were a lot pissed off that they had been keeping a secret for that long. Don't forget, Kenya basically got fired because she refused to show her wedding. Porsha was literally having a whole ass affair, having relationships, didn't say anything, and then popped up a month later and acted like, oh, what are you talking about, right? So we have that going. We also have the thing that it's true that every single time she comes back, there's always a new storyline. There's always a new storyline. With the way that she made them look stupid with the editing, with the way that she made them look stupid with the storyline, it is being suggested that they actually are just plain sick of her. They do want to get the old heads out and get new blood in. Sanya is the first step in that direction. It was supposed to be with Drew and Latoya. We see for whatever reason it didn't work out with Latoya. We know that from Falyn's interview. Drew, I don't know if anybody really likes Drew. I'm just being honest, right? She's like Mia, but without the funny quirkiness, just be lying for no reason. But it has been said in the Real Housewives of Atlanta that, and I don't know how the Pinas feel about it. If they're in a chat, maybe they can talk. But they literally are seriously thinking about revisiting what works, what didn't work. And right now, Miriam was the one that actually brought it up last episode when she was like, listen, this could actually really work. But you weren't that far from what they were actually thinking, that why not have Falynn on? She is pregnant. She has a cute family. She has a boyfriend who, I don't want to be messy, but it looks like it's a fiance. I keep saying a ring on the finger, right? So a spiritual husband, at least, right? She has a spiritual husband. She has a new baby. She has 3 cute boys. She is beautiful, right? She is well spoken. She has a certain elegance that they're trying to bring back, right? And even though things ended very, very badly, partly because from what I hear, they were going 10 toes down for, the prize pig that ended up playing them. And let's not stress that Bravo is super, super embarrassed about that because I mean, in a weird way, I don't want to put it all on Porsha because production were doing what they wanted to do, right? However, because she did so many things and also with Simon doing these things, it really exposed how much production is on the hand of the franchise. So the franchise is very, very eager to try to get back to looking organic and looking like this is reality, right? And there are talks about seeing if they could approach Falynn, right, and the family about perhaps coming on. What do you guys think about Falynn coming back if she came back?
I would love that. Would give closure, and just having her there would kind of check a little bit Portia without even, like, she doesn't need to uh, talk towards her. Just came in your show and
Mhm.
her. She didn't say anything bad about Portia because you know what? Portia does enough for herself and not to like her. Nobody needs to say anything. It's really she's like she's the total package. Nobody, she does the outrageous, and she's outrageous, and nobody to say anything. So
And
I
they
would,
really like the angle that she's like living in her truth, being free, you know? And again, reality TV loves mess. You love messiness, you love entanglements. But I was actually, when I heard it, I said that might be a good thing because listen, I know at first I was like, oh my God, no, she'd never. But I'm talking about what I would want. And listening to you, Miriam, it literally made me realize that there is something to be said for housewives that actually know each other, even if they hate each other, they still know each
That's
other. You know
true.
what I'm saying?
Yep.
We're sick of every single season. It's like musical chairs. Like, who is this? And by the time they even get to know each other, even enough to hate each other, it's a new person coming in.
That's right.
what about
So
real
there is something
couple?
about like sprinkled storylines, you know?
Yeah, I
And the
think that
real
for me,
couple,
I'm just getting. And I was gonna say,
I
for
just
me, I
want to
get
give,
fatigued at starting all over at the beginning every season. Every season's a reset because they sort of talk amongst each other. They don't really rehash what the real things were. Then you have to meet about 500 new people, and then by the time you get to real issues, it's the season's over and it's been very boring. So I think that if Fallon comes back, it would give more credibility to Bravo. I think because they hide everything, and every time something gets really controversial or maybe inconvenient, they push the people to the side and they don't really hold them on. So if she came back, that would be a shocker because I don't
It
know if
would be a
Bravo.
shocker. You would tune in. I would tune in. We would
I
have
would
a
tune
watch
in.
party, live reaction.
Absolutely.
honestly, I think I would tune in for Kenya. I would fast forward the others, but if Fallon comes, oh my God, I'm glued to that because I don't want to
Hmm.
miss. Like, it just will be refreshing to see a, an actual couple in love with chemistry, not faking it. You know, if
It
you
would be
follow
nice to
her
see
on
a
her
young
YouTube,
family.
listen, when if you follow there on your YouTube, it's like that is like the pitch of a spin-off. Like, they can
Yeah.
be a show of their own. Honestly,
Yeah.
I
I think
like the
for,
way she edits the stuff. It's really like, she is good.
for
She's
me, I
not
just get
good
tired of
to
the
look
fact that,
at. She's
yeah,
good.
I
She's
just
good.
think I get tired of the fact that the ladies are sort of always sort of blackmailing the producers about if she comes back, I won't film like the same way they Candy did with Phaedra. I think that um, I just think that the ladies have too much power when it comes to filming. It's messing up the show. You know,
Well,
I think.
speaking of power, again, that little stunt that Portia pulled last season really left a bad taste in production's mouth. Again, I think they're partly blaming her for having egg on their face because at the end of the day, like you said, Mel, they are production, right? At the end of the day, they are production. But getting back to this, and this is being reported in OK, right? Well, it's OK News, but still. Okay, related to OK Magazine, right? Olympian Santa Richards Ross is reportedly joining Real Housewives of Atlanta, replacing Porsha Williams and Cynthia Bailey. Now, here's the thing: they might even be doing the Nene thing with Porsha, right? Let's get you out of here for a season. Let's see what happens. If worst comes to worst, we can always bring you back because honestly, it's the same way they felt with Nene, right? What
Hmm.
else are you doing? What else are you doing? Now, it said after OK spilled, Real Housewives of Atlanta star Cynthia Bailey and Porsha Williams are out for season 14. Reports are surfing Olympia signer Richard Ross is being eyed as a potential castmate. The track star is already gearing up to begin filming with the ladies, reported Radar. If all goes well and the audience takes her, producers will crown her as a full-time cast member. I have heard she has a glam squad. So she is filming scenes. Now, we all know whether somebody makes a full-time housewife ends up on the cutting room floor, but they have a lot of hope. Richard Watts is a phenom on the track, primarily in the 400-meter sprint. She was the 2012 Olympic champion, 2009 world champion, 2008 Olympic bronze medalist, and 2005 world silver medalist in sports. Following a career-ending injury in 2016, the 36-year-old former athlete retired and joined NBC as a track and field analyst. So there's that NBC Bravo Universal connection. She published her memoir, Chasing Grace, What a Quarter Mile Has Taught Me About God and Life. I'm sorry. A year later, Richard Ross isn't the only new face. I'm not laughing at her book, but I'm laughing at the title, okay? Richard Ross isn't the only new face the series will see. Reporter Anthony Dominic spilled Bravo has allegedly decided to bring back the original cast member, Sheree Whitfield. I do believe that true, who left after the fourth season. Dominic noted Porsha is not returning, while also revealing that Candy Burris and Kenya Moore will be holding peaches when filming begins. Also back for the upcoming season will be Drew, and fan favorite Marlo Hampton. Williams is reportedly receiving her own spin-off series that will center around her family and pursuing a life with new fiance Simon Kabodia, ex-husband of Falynn. The 40-year-old revealed, anyway, blah, blah, blah. I know it's fast, but really, whatever. We'll skip over that. Anyway, Porsha starts lying about how they met like Tuesday and they got engaged on Wednesday and now they're having a baby, hopes a fibroid baby on Friday, right? Listen, a couple of things that we can say from this, right? If Porsha does not return, from what I hear, this is completely not. She will have been fired, right? Just like they were like, yeah, Porsha's out. She was quick to release with her PR agents and everything else on page 6. Well, nothing's set in stone. We're still negotiating. Again, she came in hot. She came in high. Bravo was willing to play ball because for some reason they thought, okay, she's the fan favorite. The backlash from the Black Lives Matter storyline, which I still blame Bravo for. I understand Porsha might have had a dumbass idea, but Bravo was all about that, right? So it's the Black Lives Matter storyline that blew up in their face, right? Them trying to take down Kenya, that blew up in their face. Porsha and her fake relationship, that blew up. Porsha trying to smear Candy, that blew up. They really just got sick of her. And quiet as is kept, it seems like every season when she comes back, she always has a new fake storyline. She's always trying to sink in. So if she does not come back, it is pretty much Bravo's decision. Now, I will say last thing before I bring you guys in the comment, I did just post a video. If you guys have not seen it, go ahead and check it out. It's only a few minutes where, you know what? Blaming that one of the reasons she might not be getting a peach is because of Simon. When you look at Porsha's history about being a stunt queen, right, and always having a storyline, knew this, knew that, and you take Simon, who he promised, right, had connections, had this, had that, this glamorous life, and then he has her playing mommy at the Holiday Inn pool, right? Bravo's like, where are all your friends? Where are all your connections? Where's the things that's going to make this spinoff a spinoff? You know, Porsha keeps a really tight circle. She doesn't either trust or believe anybody else outside of maybe a few close family members to even be in her circle. From what I hear, she's much too jealous to let anybody else get shine around her. So she's not like she can bring a Shamia on board or she can bring, you know, she only wants to be the star and then she only has a few key family members. So on that aspect, she's not going to be having people around the film. And then when you look at Simon, I mean, honestly, what is he going to do? Like charter a private jet for Jeezy and Ray J to come over and sit with them in VIP? That's not the demographic when you're trying to have a family show. It's just not. Right. It's just not the demographic. You literally have not been seen with your kids since filming ended, you know? And now he posted that dumb message saying, I'd like to thank Porsha Williams for teaching me to brush my teeth. Literally, I want to thank her for teaching me the importance of family. You are 60 years old saying your girlfriend just now taught you that there's other people in this world besides yourself. I don't know who he thought he was taking a swipe at, but that just made him look stupid. And then let's do the math, y'all. He said, because this is the 4th time I've been in Nigeria for 4 years. Now, if you guys remember from my interview with Falynn Penna, say a lot of things about Falynn. She dropped those receipts. She said, the only time I knew Simon to go to Nigeria was for his daddy's funeral. That's it, right? So let's talk. He said he's been there 4 times in 40 years. 2 times have been in the last couple of months. We know that because he documented on Instagram once he was done flying with the Delta Gold Club, right? No shade to the Delta Gold Club, right? The 3rd time was, unfortunately, his dad's passing. I'm not going to make light of that. But what was the 4th time? Did you think that the 4th time he went back to Nigeria is when he was deported for being locked up?
I think so.
One time that he definitely went back. So he's having the 4th time, and at 60 years old, he's talking about, she taught me how to be, this is their new thing, I guess, God-fearing, stand by your man. She taught me to be a man. She taught me at 60 years old, but that's because Bravo is on them, like, even for the spinoff. What is real? Show your real life. Show something. But go on, y'all. Jump in.
Well, listen. First, I need to talk about Bravo. There is something called when you do the same thing and you expect a different outcome. That's the definition of insanity. How many times they will keep bringing Porsha, despite of everything, and letting her do her fake stuff and expect a different outcome. It's not gluing.
Well, Porsha was cheap. When she got in those fights, she didn't get a pay raise for years.
Yeah, but she was kept on the show. So many people were iced out to the fact that they had to leave. So this is what I'm saying. Like, she still had the paycheck from Bravo, and they kept bringing her because they wanted to bring her to the forefront. And I don't think she did enough to redeem herself. Another thing, they shot themselves on the foot. First of all, it's hilarious that they want to do a family show when she announced to the world that she is engaged to a married man. Like, what other than wrecking a family? I don't see anything related to family there. Regardless if they were separated or not, still the optics look really, really bad. So optic wise, they totally sabotaged themselves by doing that premature announcement, which made them trend and break the internet. And then people got over it. I'm telling you, when I see someone talking about Porsha, I'm not interested, because, like, okay, what else is new? There's nothing new. But if they bring Falynn to the show, oh hell yes. Oh,
No, let me hear you from you guys in the comments, because I know Mary's on board, Mel's on board. In the comments, you guys, let me know. Are you guys on board? Would you actually like to see it? And if you would like to see Falynn on, what would you like her storyline to be? Like, what would you like them to focus on? Because again, I agree with you. It would be a shocker to see her opening up. It would be fresh, right? And I would love to see those shady conversations where she's dropping little Easter eggs when she's talking to Kenya and Candy, like, well, there's one person I dated whose breath stink. You know, and just like, I would love to see those type of things. So, but well, honestly, in the chat, let me know, and also Mel, right? And also, I think, you know, Simon would, because this would be good for everybody if you think about it, right? Because wouldn't Simon be sick if Falynn came on? But we know every time Simon's sick, he goes into meltdown mode. And I'm not saying he has that much of a brain to begin with, but he gets sloppy, right? He gets sloppy. You know, it's like on his birthday when Porsha's flying in private jets and he's busy making up fake Instagram accounts to troll Falynn, you know, and whatnot. But he gets sloppy when he gets angry. And if Porsha and Simon had their own little show, right? And he gets sloppy and angry, that's just more drama while they're feeling. It's more drama for everybody. So in that case, I guess it would be a win-win-win for Bravo. You know, it would be a win-win-win. And it'd finally be a win for the fans, because I could feel people finally saying, okay, you know what? This at least feels authentic. It's not a manufactured storyline. And for once, it'd be nice to see everything that played off camera to actually be in front of the camera.
Amen.
You know?
That's it right there. That's what I was saying. I mean, how many years are we going to hear the most juiciest parts of their lives and the fights and the drama and the businesses be only off camera? I'm thinking, what is going on? Is it just they just sort of leaving all the stuff on the cutting room floor, and we left with these boring parties, these get-togethers, and you know, when everything that's real is not on camera.
No, I agree. I mean, right now, the only thing we have entertaining us is like what? Simona Nobadia. That's it. And his queen antics. You know, that's all we have entertaining ourselves right now.
Listening to you, something came to my mind. Maybe there is a little bit of truth for the fact that Porsha might not come back, just because of what you just said. You said it would be a win-win for everybody. We, the viewers, will be psyched in. It would be a win-win for Bravo with the ratings. And Falynn would get to tell her story, you know, not let anybody tell her story. So maybe Porsha got mad at Bravo and said, if you guys are thinking about it, I'm leaving. So maybe they were like, trying to see, so if Falynn comes, what would be the scenario? And she might have flipped. We don't know. I can only see this scenario to give some truth to the fact that she might have said, not really meaning it, that she wouldn't come back because she thinks she's the show, right?
Okay. You know what? You are right. I could see that scenario happening, except for Bravo was getting really, really tired of how Simon and Porsha were just embarrassing them, to the point of, if you have the spinoff, people are going to be looking at a side eye and like, what is going on? And right now they're in the off season, right? I know we're YouTube heads. We're deep in these YouTube streets. But when it starts, people are going to start going to do searches. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. Now, there is something I can see what you're saying happening, but also, again, I think it was, to your point, it was a very strategic salary negotiation miss because, like you said, for whatever reason, that Bravo's like, listen, you're already a shit show and you have your own show. So if you do have a loyal base of people, they'll watch you. So the ratings are still there. I think it's it's like when Candy said a long time ago, and I truly believe it. All the Housewives shows, we have our favorites, but they are ensemble cast. The thing is with an ensemble cast, it's just like Monique, right? You're team Monique, I'm not, right? But it's to the point of, I will say Monique bought, like, after the fight, she bought a lot of stuff to the show. And but when Monique left, the show goes on. Now, whether you think it's good, that's subjective. But the show goes on. And Porsha leaves, right? The show will still go on, and there will be just as many viewers because if Portia's fan base was as big and bad as some of the people in Bravo are leading it to believe. Like, let me explain something about, like, network TV, right? Network TV is a bunch of middle-aged to old men, right? Sometimes there's women in there, but they're middle-aged to old, right? The one thing they have is everybody's disconnected, right? It's like those people that are on TV all day. You're like, I don't go on TV, I just read because you're sick of it, right? They have been bamboozled by PR marketing people being like, oh, they have this many Instagram. It's just now in the last year, smart PR people and smart marketing people are starting to realize, wait a second, Instagram followers don't translate to TV. Just like I have how many followers on YouTube, but then you go over to my Instagram and I only have 2,000 followers. You see what I'm saying? It's hard to jump markets. It's hard to make people on Facebook come over and subscribe to YouTube. People like their niche. They were convinced that because they maybe saw 6.4 million, right? This is the gold mine. But when you think about it, if her fan base was that loyal, then ratings wouldn't have been that shitty last year because they did everything they could to boost her up and make her the focus, So she had her bite at the apple, and I think she missed it. But
sorry, she did. You know how she missed it? She should have waited to divulge this love story right before the season began, because then people would be outraged right when the season is beginning. That would have been like, instead of everybody being in the YouTube streets, we would be glued to the show because it's already oversaturated. This story the train has left the station. So this was a strategic mistake. She should have waited. And here I'm not, listen, I don't want to give her ideas, but that was her biggest mistake. It was too early on. They were wrapping up the first season. Like, they just aired the reunion when the next day she put that picture of Mother's Day, which I already found, wait a second, there's something there. And the way she's hugging Simon, she's towards Simon and giving her back to Dennis, for me it didn't make sense, other than there is something there. And then bam, the next day I'm like, damn, can I be wrong one time about Porsha? Like,
no, but listen,
she's so predictable.
I blame Simon for that. I mean, I know I blame Simon for the fall of the Roman Empire, but just hear me out, right? Porsha came out and was like, did that weird pic. And I remember when I saw that pic, I was like, she's sleeping with Fallon's husband. And everybody was like, you're sick. Why would you think that? People can't be friends. And then she came out and said, yes, I know it's sudden. I think that was Simon putting pressure on her, because when Porsha came out with that dumb thing being like, we're just, we were friends first and now we're lovers, right? The next thing you know, Simon posted on his page, I'm going to announce the engagement in my bed. He literally locked that down to let everybody know, this is my fiance. I think at that time she thought Simon had more money than God. I think Simon, y'all never had a guy on your ass to make it official? I have. And I'm be like, I forgot my Instagram passcode. Huh, look at that. Yeah, I forgot my Twitter. Yeah, how come you don't post me on whatever? Oh, I don't know how to use my phone. You never had a guy pressure you to make it official. I really think that's what Simon was doing, pressuring her to make it official, make it Insta official so everybody knew, and he could start his rise to fame,
Yeah, but that was like a damn dumb move.
It was.
Everybody talked about it, and now like we know that Falynn moved on, I think, and they were together since way before than they pretended
At
to
least
be.
September.
At least September, exactly. So I feel like everybody, like we dissected so much what happened, and when you like exposed that, expose needs to go to the Hall of Fame of YouTube, like that you made, because that was like you just connected the dots, and you put the date stamp in everything, and they thought they were smarter, just like Erica Jane didn't think there was going to be a Ron Richard. Porsha Simon didn't know you would do that to them.
Then I was bored one day, didn't have shit else to do, missed my flight, was mad as hell, and was like, what? Yeah, that's exactly how it started. I didn't have shit to do. I was bored. I'm mad I missed my flight. Literally, my boyfriend wasn't talking to me because he told me to get to the airport early. And I was like, forget about it. And everybody, it was a party that I was, it was a whole thing. And I was just like, oh, will you look at this? So, no, but you know what? Honestly, all jokes aside, can you imagine the ratings, right? Now, I agree with you. If they found a way to keep that, why can't anybody keep secrets? It's not in the clause. Because if you and I were producers, I'd have been like, I will assassinate your whole family if a word gets out. Not a word. You better like hide this even from your children, right? So it's kind of like, if they had kept it secret and then dropped the bomb, look who I'm dating, it would have been must-see TV. Right now, everyone's like, okay, now this is getting gross. You're talking about fibroids. We all know that maybe he might be infertile. At the very least, it might be like carnation instant milk coming out of there. Like, I don't know, right? But yes, but can you imagine if they did have it and there was a scene, even if it was a mixer, where it was Falynn, Jalen, we're going to, I don't know what happened, whatever stories happen, whatever parties happen in the spring, right? Or a Christmas party or Valentine's Day party, couples Valentine's Day, Falynn, or Jalen's there. She has her belly looking so happy and content. And then Simon and Porsha walk in. Could you imagine that TV?
They do the rewind, because sometimes yeah. Oh my God, they need to hire us. Like, bravo, you dumb people. You should have told Porsha not to say a word, but you did, and now it's over.
I would. I'd be like, oh my God, when he walked up to see Simon's face and get so mad, and I'd be like, cut the camera too. Zoom in on his tight jeans as he waddles out. Because he likes wearing jeans that are like 5 times. Zoom in on his tight jeans as he waddles out. Okay, there we go. And seeing everybody, we would definitely get it. But I do think that we need something exciting, because right now, again, how much drama could it be? I'm sick of the drama where people just walk in, right? I'm sick of...
Maybe Mark will try to make amends with Kenya. And
what's that?
Maybe Mark will, if Mark comes back, that will be... I know, I don't like the way he treats my girl, Kenya Moore hair care. I'm not paid by anyone. I paid... but that would be something. That would be...
It would be something, but I'm just saying also for everybody that is just joining us, right? Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're going through casting news. We're going through a lot of news, but most importantly, make sure that when you guys are watching Dancing with the Stars, you are voting Kenya 21523. Make sure you support her, whether you're Black or not, always bet on Black. Support Kenya Moore. If you're in here, we need one of the Housewives alum to make us proud. But no, I think that would be a beautiful thing. This new girl, I'm sure she'll be fine. I'm sure she has a personality. She's an athlete. Athletes are naturally strong. They don't shy away from confrontation. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure she won't let any of the girls intimidate her. But I am sick to death of new faces every season, and then they have to try to manufacture conflict, because at the end of the day, how much conflict can you have with someone that you've only known for 5 months? Honestly, how much conflict can you have? At least if you even bring in cast members from last season or 2 seasons ago, there's some type of history. You know what I'm saying? So on that thing, I do think Falynn would be good. I don't know if Porsha is fired officially. I know for a fact she is fighting. When I say know for a fact, you can read the OK articles, you can read all this. She is fighting for her peach, right? She's fighting for her peach. She overplayed her hand. And that little spinoff, I don't even know if that spinoff's going to get tardy for the party vibes, because truth be told, what is it? All her other spinoffs didn't really do anything. You know what I'm saying?
She tarnished she tarnished everything, like just like Black Lives Matter, having an affair with a married man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like they are so opposite and they don't go together. So this is why waiting till the next season comes would have been the smart move, would have given enough time for Falynn and Simon to split legally. So even if they, cheated or they started their affair long before, it wouldn't look as bad as it did. Because really, I felt like some of her diehard fans, they were like they were heartbroken. They felt cheated on, because they were like, we were talking just like you, shaming Kenya for not holding a man, and look at you, what you're doing. You kept saying that she's the one who wrecks families. What did you just do? So that was the hard sell of her story to go along with Black Lives Matter. When you say Black Lives Matter, means Black families matter. And what did she do to a family? So everything, like, there is something that really, it's the antithesis of what she should have done. And that was a dumb move. It's like, just the person that is so eager to do something, she needs to keep her business to her own. And it wouldn't be hard, because she doesn't go out. She only goes out to eat and comes back. She could have kept that under wraps. She could have.
Yeah.
You would have found out eventually, but she could have kept under wraps and nobody would have known now.
Mm-hmm. She could have completely kept it under wraps. She could have, but I don't think, because I think that she thought that she was literally dating the Nigerian Jeff Bezos, right? Jeff Bezos and his mistress, nobody is calling her a mistress in public. He owns half of North America. It's like she is anointed in the blood of Christ, and she is fine. I just really do think that Porsha didn't keep that. But then again, let's talk about this show, right? Because the show was supposed to come out in the fall. Then it was supposed to come out around the time the book, or the book was supposed to come around the book. I looked up her book, y'all. Chat, we're gonna do, you know what? We're gonna do a book review. We're gonna do a book club of The Pursuit of Porsha. Never let it say that I don't support a Black woman. I'm gonna do a book review of The Pursuit of Porsha. I have a feeling, shout out to Rodney the Voice. What did he say? That Porsha wrote that with a crayon, with her tongue sticking out, on a coloring book, with her feet kicked up on the living room floor.
Pursuit of Porsha. Who wants to pursue
Porsha? But when is this series actually coming out? Because that's another thing. This blockbuster show that Bravo's waiting for, they keep pushing back more and more and more, to the point of it has to come out right behind Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, just like Tardy for the Party had to be on the heels of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, because they let us set alone. Most people are going to be like, what? Who? Why? So, yeah. And also, you know what? So I did hear from some people that a clue might be also that it doesn't take that long to come out with a trailer. And Bravo's invested so much money that they're done investing money. They're just like, okay, this is a wash. And Porsha and Simon are trying to do what they can to kick up interest. Now, there is an interesting rumor, right? There is an interesting rumor that Porsha is trying to get into the Real Housewives of Lagos. I know y'all dragged me in the comments because I kept pronouncing it Lagos. Shut up. You know what? Let me do a Porsha Williams. No, let me do a Drew Sidora. You guys are shaming me for the way I say Lagos, but I have dyslexia. So before you talk shit about someone, know that I'm dealing with a learning disability. Shut up, y'all. I had dyslexia. Anyway, I will say it's Lagos, right? Lagos, Nigeria, that she is joining or trying to make a play to join the Real Housewives of Nigeria. Now, Lagos. Now, a lot of people did point out, my African followers, thank you so much. After y'all got done dragging me, y'all pointed out the fact that she doesn't speak the language. So what is going on? And that's when I thought, wouldn't it be funny if this was another weird game, power move by Porsha to actually get Bravo interested in her, like, oh, I might be going to something else,
You know, people in the chat, they're suggesting you interview Bolo. That would be great.
No. Okay.
Why not?
Miriam, we're on the case. We'll do a group interview. We'll be like, so I remember I got some tea about the Bolo situation, right? Remember when Kenya was like, no, I was just downstairs getting Brooklyn a bottle, right? So from what I heard, Kenya wasn't getting Brooklyn no damn bottle. Apparently, they were so loud, the whole house heard. The whole house heard. Kenya just went downstairs to be nosy. And you know what? I don't blame her because I would have been nosy too. Let a coworker that I don't like, that's tried to destroy me, be downstairs getting drunk and maybe on something and making a fool of themselves. Please, you think? Listen, I don't even know how I would have used the information, but I would have gone down and just took a scan. Let's see. I would have had my phone out. Okay. I don't know how I'm going to use this, but this is going to come back from you somehow. I don't understand how she thought that she was going to get away with the Bolo stuff and then talk girl
She's
code
dumb.
to someone you don't like.
She's dumb. And then again, can we imagine if that was Kenya? You think Porsha wouldn't have done Porsha court? Of course she would.
Listen, if that was Kenya, Porsha would have it would have been sad what she did. It would have been sad what she did. But you know what? At the end of the day, again, with that Bolo thing, I see what was going on. It was the Real Housewives. It was doing this. But now knowing what we know, it was also the fact that she had her granddaddy watching, talking about, hey, man, whose is it? You made me faithful to me. Whose is it? She had her daddy talking about whose is it? So she was trying to play church girl, but I don't even know. That was the weirdest thing I've ever saw, where you literally went so crazy that you had to sleep with a stripper while you were on a work trip. You couldn't even meet him afterwards. You couldn't take him out to the car. Like, there's so many ways you could have protected your dignity. And not even that, you thought you were slick because you had everybody take a little piece of him or a piece of whatever so that everybody was in on it. But at the end of the day, the OGs like Kenya, like Marlo, like Candy and Shamia were just like, yeah, we're cool. Okay. And you know, Falynn, she wasn't even going to be involved in that mess. She's probably like, ew, no.
She was
Like,
not. She didn't even stay in the house. Did you
Exactly.
ask her why she didn't stay in the house?
I think she didn't stay in the house when she did mention it. I think it was because of Simon. Simon was always like, no, my family, I want to protect your reputation. I want to make sure everything's good. But now we see what the real reason is. He just wanted to make sure that he got to the makeup chair before she did. And she didn't get, and he was ready for his close up. He just wanted to make sure that his little investment was paying over. Now,
But
another
did he
person
know
actually,
that Porsha was going to do what she did?
what's that?
Weren't they together?
No, Simon did not want Falynn to actually stay in the house.
Well,
Don't forget that Simon was super, super controlling of Falynn. Just controlling. You know? When you're like, why? Just because he could. Just because he wanted to. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what Falynn was saying. He was just super, super controlling. And because he could. Because he could, to be difficult. He wanted to make sure she didn't make friends. And quiet as his kept, he probably didn't want her being too close to Porsha, because around that time he actually was talking to Porsha. So I mean,
Wow.
yeah, I would have been too like, no, why don't you guys sit on two opposite sides of the room? Why are you sitting so close? Let's spread out. Now listen, we have a couple of things also going on with this. You guys, let's switch topics for. Listen,
I was going to say too. Oh, I was going to say too. So you interviewed Fallon. I was going to say, do you think have you heard if she will be back next? This season. Do you think?
Well,
she'll
here's
be-
the thing. I know when I first interviewed her, my emotions were running high and she was very, very hurt. She was not interested in going back because she felt rightly enough humiliated. I know since then, I just know found from what I've interviewed her and my brief conversation, she seems very calm. She seems very level-headed and she seems business-minded. You know, she has her YouTube channel. You can obviously see from her YouTube channel that she gets views. Her family's cute. They're super natural on TV. So it wouldn't be hard to make that jump into filming the whole thing. They're super open with stuff. You could see from her live. So it's kind of like, did she say, yeah, girl, I'll do it? No, this is just me going on a limb. But I definitely think that if they approached her in a respectful way and the price was right, because you know earth signs, they're all about respect, right? Respectful manner, price was right. And probably she had like a little bit more control to make sure that never happened. I don't know if that's possible. But to the point, again, the Falynn that they knew that the production knew when she was with Simon was a completely different Falynn than what it actually is. Even with that house, a little fun tidbit, even with that Bolo situation, the reason why Simon was there is because he didn't want her to stay there. He didn't want her to go. At first, it was just supposed to be Falynn, her assistant, and her makeup artist, which at that time her assistant was Jalen, right? Simon refused to let her go there alone, and he forced himself in a trip. But it's almost the way Simon, when they were in the pool, he was sitting there dangling his little crusty feet over the pool. Simon just wanted camera time. That's why I'm interested to see how this show goes with Simon, with the thing. If this is any indication of, I remember when he was having those lives trying to blast Falynn, and he was in the camera like, yes, next question. When he was doing all that stuff. But I remember watching lives and be like, God damn, this man is so boring. And he does it. I mean, again, he has to be smart in some way. He runs game, but he just seems like he's not really like, the same, Miriam? Like, he doesn't have that, he's no PK. He's no PK.
No PK. But I feel like, I hate to say that. Not that I hate to say that, like, because I love Kenya, but at this point,
Kenya got a 26, y'all. Sorry, go on.
I know. But at this point, I feel like Atlanta can only be rescued by Falynn coming to the show. That's what I think.
I think you're right. Because right now, bringing new blood is not, if they were smart, they would have just gone for old people. If they were smart, actually, they even would have bought Claudia Jordan back. Claudia, Kenya,
yes.
because y'all can say what y'all want. Claudia was so good on that show. That's when you saw NeNe's power, that Claudia wasn't coming back, because Claudia was reality TV gold, right?
Yeah, she wasn't intimidated by NeNe. She checked NeNe like she cashed a check of hers.
That's
that
right.
She herself, and she knows that she has the balance in the bank. That was like, for me, I'm like, I was so mad that she didn't come back.
And then they only touched the tip of the iceberg with her life. I mean, there's so much deeper things to go there. So many different guys and different family things. So she had a lot of story to tell, and it was unfortunate she didn't get a chance to come back.
Well, it was super unfortunate. But if they had Claudia, Sheree, not Kim. I don't like Kim.
No, Kim.
NeNe, I would like to see back. And Falynn, the funny thing is, I actually think NeNe and Falynn would get along. That's one thing about NeNe. NeNe was very, very competitive, but if she didn't see you as a threat, she definitely was very maternal. I like Cynthia a lot, but Cynthia, to be the OG, Cynthia isn't a maternal person, if that makes any sense. Do you know what I'm saying?
And I do. And I think that for me, NeNe is very grounding for that show. I think that in all those franchise shows, we have one person who's, I mean, whether you want to call it the OGs or whatever, they ground the show. It's just the people that really holds it together. And I think that if they were smart, they would bring it back. They wouldn't make her make her the front of the story, but she would be an ingredient that would keep the ladies coming together. I think I love NeNe. I love when she came back.
Yeah, listen. Yeah, she burned that bridge, and that door is closed. Like,
well, hopefully now they might have a little mercy for her.
She made about Bravo and Andy. They're hard to go around unless she signs an NDA or she does a public, like, a disclaimer, and that will be so humiliating. I don't think being on a show is worth it. I feel like NeNe, you know what, NeNe, you're an icon. She has her lounge. I can't wait to go there. Like, when I go to Atlanta, I want to check it. I feel like, she did like a Porsha move. She thought she was untouchable, and she was saying things that, you have to think, and if you say it, you will regret it. Like, I hope she regrets it because of her, not because I'm not saying that that's not true. That might be true, but at the end of the day, by doing that, she's really the one that had to lose the most, even more than the next. Yeah, it's unfortunate because that goes on.
I will say this, though. I definitely think that it's important. I wish NeNe would come back again.
Me too.
The funny thing is, the last 2 seasons with Nene, she made me so mad. I was always punching the air. She was on my most hated list. I was like, oh, like literally everything she did. It was just like watching. I literally would be fighting the screen, and I used to wish like, get Nene out of here. And now that she's gone, I'm like, you
But
really
you know,
were,
I
to
love
your
that
point, the
I
nucleus of the
love,
show.
but I love that you said that, because I think that that was also what the ladies was feeling too. They was like, oh my gosh. But so what I saw, because again, I won't go too deep, but I think that when you're a caregiver and you're stressed out of your mind, you are not yourself. And I always wish that the ladies would have, because he's gone, her husband passed away not too long ago.
Yeah.
And I wish that the ladies would be like, you know what? Oh my gosh, she's a lot, but she's really at the end of her rope here, because she's taking care of this man that she loves more than anything. And I think at the time she was stressed out, and then that's when she left the show. I feel like now that he's gone, maybe she can come back as a guest star, not as a full person. Test the
Oh, I don't
waters.
know. I'm looking at the comments and they're just like,
I
no,
listen.
hate the moose. Stop calling her the moose. She needs to stay gone. But you know what? Somebody brought up, sorry to interrupt you, Miriam. I'll let you go
No,
in
no,
one
no.
second. But somebody brought up a good point. And remember this, because Miriam, you have a long memory. Maybe you do remember that she literally tried to insinuate that Candy was a raccoon. But she was trying to insinuate that Candy was a sellout. That's the thing about Nene. She's one of those people. She's like a typical Sag, right? To me, I get along great with Sages. They have razor sharp tongues. They destroy you. But then when all the smoke clears, you forget about all the bad stuff they did and you only remember the funny, amusing, crazy stuff they did, you know?
You
In
know,
that case, it was like, I don't remember half the crazy stuff Nene did. I just remember the funny stuff she did, you know?
you
So
know, I remember both, and the Nene I miss is the Nene of the first 2 seasons.
oh, that was funny when she's like, honey,
Yeah,
white
that
refrigerators.
scene
What is
is, you know,
this?
what's
Oh
his
no.
what is his name? The
Dwight?
Dwight. Oh my God, they were like in the basement. She was renovating the basement, and he
Mhm.
gave her a lap dance. That was, oh my God. I remember every second of that. That's the Nene I miss. But then she turned on Dwight. And that because she was because she was center stage, like the centerpiece, the center peach, I mean, of the show. It got to her head, unfortunately. And I cannot say that it was, yes, taking care of Greg must have taken a toll of her. Who wouldn't? But that's not when she changed. This
Oh
is
wait,
not an Erica
hold on really
Gerard
quick.
50 years ago.
Sorry, Miriam Mel. Fallon's in the chat. Do y'all have some questions for her?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, you do? Oh, yeah, Miss Fallon, are you coming back to the Housewives? Let us know. Can you come on the live?
She said she would come back if Nene comes back. I read that.
Let's see. Hold on. Fallon is
Go
in
up.
the live, Miss Fallon Pinna. There's a link if you want to jump on and say a few words. But we want to know, even if you respond in the chat, if the Real Housewives offered you something back, would you be interested in coming back? Oh, you guys, I have some tea. Congratulations on your Instagram, Fallon. It's growing great. Well, I don't want to get messy about Fallon's here, but I have some tea on Simon and why he's not verified. But we'll talk about, I like to keep my mess separate. You know, Fallon's with child. I don't want to give any negative energy for the baby.
Okay.
You know?
I know
But
that's
Fallon,
right.
would you?
She said if Nene comes back, she would. She said that on the chat earlier before.
Oh, did she really?
Yeah, I read that.
Oh,
Well, come on, Nene, Miss Fallon. We make the show. Make us happy. We need you.
exactly. Listen, here's the link right here in the restream. If Fallon wants to actually call in and hop on this live and take some things, there's a link in the restream right here.
Ooh, that would be awesome.
Just in the chat, just click on it and it will automatically take you to restream and you'll be in the chat. Oh, yes. We should interview Jalen, right? You know, my question.
Oh my God, he's so cute.
I'll be interviewing Jalen and be like, so what's your favorite ice cream flavor? Rocky Road. You can tell a lot from a man by Rocky Road.
I know.
Yeah,
exactly.
So good together. Like, it's really like, you know, and people try to tarnish that, say, oh, so she was too. It's irrelevant at this point. Even if they were, I can totally see that. Like, I think it's not on this live. I think I said another live. I can't remember. But I said that. I said, even if...
Wait, hold on a second. Look who called in.
Oh my God.
Falynn Pinna, what's going on?
Stop.
Hey, Falynn.
Hi. Hi,
Hi, good
everybody.
evening.
Okay,
Hello,
so
Hi.
gorgeous.
everybody got so shy around you. Everybody's just like, good
Yes.
evening. So listen, we're going to have a few questions. Miriam, I know you have a question. Mel, I know you have, and then we're going to take some questions. You guys, Falynn Pinna has joined the stream. So if you guys have any questions for her, please let it up. Right now, we are hammering her because listen, birds on the street. I was interested, right? Little twitters, little whispers. I want to know what you guys think and if you guys have any questions and also what you would like to see focused on in her life. But go on, Miriam. Go on, Mel. Let's get some
I
questions.
have a question about Toya. Did she ever apologize to you? And if she did, would you see like a future friendship? Could you guys get can you get past what she did on the show? Because we know they cut off the part that she insulted you. And that's what's unfortunate about the editing.
Uh,
They tend to try to portray. So did she ever reach out to you and apologize?
no, I don't think sorry is a vocabulary word that's in her dictionary. But no, she did not. However, I'm not the type of person to just dislike anybody straight off the bat. I don't care how badly people have an opinion based off of whatever reasons. I don't hate anybody. I don't dislike anyone until they do me dirty or do me wrong or scratch me wrong. So um I don't have, as far as a potential friendship with her, I don't have bad blood. I could even be friends with Simon again. Like, I could be friends with anyone again. However,
Is Jalen there? What he got to say about that? Jalen's like,
he's in another room.
Okay.
Okay.
Jalen's like, that's a
Jalen
step
could
too
too.
far.
However, when you learn someone's characteristics, you learn how to put them at arm's
Ah,
reach.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
So you could be cordial. You could coexist with Simon. You could coexist with Toya. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Cordial.
absolutely.
Okay.
I'm too grown out here to be
And that's what
That's
you
dealing with
wonderful.
actually
people.
want. That was the issue that I had with last season, the way everybody's grudges actually took over, where it's like, can y'all just, you are at work, just, you don't even have to smile, just get along, talk to your friends, be fake, and then go home. That's all you got to do, you know? So it's good to see. We need more people that can, even Nene, as petty as Nene was, Nene could find a way to sit across from her arch enemy and still somehow have a conversation, you
That's
know?
right.
So I
She
agree with that.
doesn't spit.
You
She
know what?
doesn't spit
I was
popcorn.
I was gonna say, Fallon, I'm coming from New York City, and I loved you on the show. Oh, she's gone.
No, she's still here. Hold on.
We don't
There we
see.
go.
Oh,
Fallon?
okay, good.
Yeah,
No, I was gonna say, I'm Mel, and I'm from New York City, and I loved you on the show. I was gonna say, from your experience on the show, I was gonna ask you, what did you learn? Because did you learn how to do a reality show where you can, I guess sort of avoid the bad edit, basically. Basically, you would edit beautifully. I mean, you were, wonderful character. But I was wondering, they didn't really show much of you. And I wonder if you did another reality show, if you did Atlantic Housewives, would you know, strategy and how to, get your story across without them sort of censoring you in a way.
Oh, absolutely. Going into reality TV, I didn't have anybody to show me how to do it, or I didn't know what to really expect. It was just I was just thrown in, and everybody's like, "Here you go," lights, camera, action, and that was it. And I didn't know anybody or anything, so it was kind of unfair because everybody else knew what they were doing.
Mhm.
However, I did film. What you guys don't know is that I filmed a lot. My family alone, we filmed in our home as in our own dynamic, and
Mm-hmm.
that was never shown. I mean, we filmed like a whole day with the kids and everything. That was
Oh,
never
wow.
shown.
I had
Me
a
on the
feeling.
way to South Carolina, we got footage from that. That was never shown. a lot of things. There were a lot of scenes that you guys never got to see. So I know, like, a lot of people say, "Oh, we only saw 5 seconds of you," is because they had their own agenda already. And
That's right.
I mean, I still don't know as to why they didn't, show what we filmed. But yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
Yeah.
maybe it's
you know
because
what? And I was going to say, that's very sad because I think hearing about you and your story after the show was almost off the air. It was like, whoa, what a 180 to see this woman, this wonderful lady. She was on the show, but then after all the secrets that was already filmed, or just sort of your full story was there, but it just seemed like maybe the current cast members, the current cast, they sort of made them the forefront, and they protected them in a way, and they didn't really protect you and really show you your full story, which I think was unfortunate. But we were talking about you in a good way. It was like, we wish that she come back because we hope that she gets another chance to really go, you know what? You had me on one time, I didn't, like you just said, I didn't know all the rules of it, but I'm here now, and I won't be censored. Basically, is what I'm hoping. I hope that you get an opportunity where you can tell your story. We can see it without you being censored, as I feel you were the first time.
Well, we know who they were protecting. They were protecting Porsha. The editing
they
was
were protecting Porsha, but it could have also been the family stuff. Maybe Simon just wasn't that interesting on film. But you're right. They were protecting Porsha. I'm being
Yeah,
serious. But maybe they were protecting Porsha, right?
something, yeah, absolutely. They censored. That was not good. I mean, I just hope she gets another opportunity to tell a full story without being censored. That's
And
my.
Mariam, what were you
one more
saying?
question. Do you keep in touch with anybody of the cast?
Mm,
Candy and Kenya. Am I right?
As of right now, no. I think we're all very busy doing our own things. I mean, Kenya's on Dancing with the Stars as we speak. Candy is filming her show, and I'm over here trying to get my YouTube together. I really don't. I think we're all just really busy, being booked and busy.
So who are you friendly with then? Because you guys are booked and busy. So okay, fine. There's not going to be a lot of play dates over each other's houses. So who are you friendly with still?
I'm still friendly with all of them. I don't have, I mean, when I say all of them, I'm talking about, I mean, even Drew, Cynthia,
Well, you never really
Candy,
had a problem with
Kenya.
Drew, right? You never had a
No,
problem with,
we didn't
yeah.
no, we never had any problems. We just didn't film a lot together. So, but yeah, we are neighbors actually. So it's funny.
Oh, well, let me ask you a question, right? And this goes into this little piece of gossip I got. And since I have you on here, we might as well verify it, right?
Oh God.
So Justin Power from Potomac wants to know, hi, Tista, why isn't that constipated toad not verified yet? I assume, I assume
Guys,
that
oh
I
my
used to
he's,
sleep
God.
with this guy, okay? So please. Oh my God.
we are immature over here, Fallon. Welcome to the mess. But
I know
listen,
that's right.
baby, listen. Welcome to the mess. But honestly, what I just want to know from your timeline. When did you get? How far in did you get verified on Instagram? Now I know, of course, you were a private individual, but what was the time frame between you starting Atlanta and you getting verified on Instagram?
Um, my the first day that the show aired, that I was aired on the show, is the day that got verified. Jalen did that actually. Shout out to Jalen. Um,
Shout out to you, Boo. Go on.
Ow.
Big.
He wasn't my birthday yet,
Yes.
but yeah. And then I mean, as far as I'm
Uh-oh.
sorry, it tickles me so much. As far as Simon goes, I'm not sure. Maybe the differences in his name.
Listen, you're trying to
I'm
be
not sure.
diplomatic. Yes. So wait, you're trying to be diplomatic and you're saying, and I've heard this too, that the reason why Simon has not gotten verified yet is because they can't verify who he is.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Or
I mean that could be true. I know that in order to get verified, there is a process, and you do have to prove who you are, and it's not just through Instagram. I believe it's out through Facebook because they own them, right? So it's like a whole entire process. You have to send them all types of background information on you.
Is it really? Walk us through this process because I don't think that any of us, I mean, I just got on Instagram like literally 3 months ago. So walk us through this process. You want to be verified. You send it out. What do they want? They don't want to see pay stubs, but what do they want to see? Your ID? They want to see like a background check, residence? Like, what do they want?
do they scrub the followers as well?
Yeah, I had to send in my identification. What else?
You only had to send in your ID, and that was it. Now,
Well, no, because my name was spelled 2 different ways. So the thing was, I had to send in my ID in some other form of a second ID. But I mean, I'm a citizen, so you can find me. So in the system, I'm fine. But
Really? You're
as
a
for
citizen.
nicknames, I'm just.
I'm
but
just scribbling down notes.
for-
Keep talking. No.
But as for him, I don't know because of the names that he has.
Oh, not names that he had. Oh, Lord.
Name we gave him.
Yeah.
When you're
Nobody.
saying the names that he has, what do you mean?
I mean, he has a couple different names. I don't know as far as to what, as far as Facebook's process goes, if it works for them. Well, he has his name is Iore. His name is Iore, and his other name is Simon. So
Really?
legally, his name
Oh,
is
so
Iore.
Iori is actually his name. I had a lot of my African followers actually tell me it's like Simon, if he was born in Nigeria, that is not his name. Like, just stop it, right? It's like me being born in China and being like, my name is Yating. It's like, Tisa, shut up. Your name is not Yating. Your name is Tisa, right? And you just took on a name. But let me ask you this, though, right? So he has a few names that he's used. Maybe it's something, but whatever the issue is, because I don't know how many followers you need to be verified, but he has like what, 1.5. Now, people have been saying that they are bald. I don't know about that. But I will say, but when you look in the comment section, it's all like Indian call centers. You know, like when you buy your followers and they're like, beautiful lady, so hot, blow kisses, I love you. And it's just over and over and over again. It's just like, okay, you bought the comments with the followers. But Simon, so he has that. He can't get verified. I've always been wanting to ask you this. This is just like kind of pivoting, right? What do you think of the story about Shamia introducing Porsha to Simon? Do you think there's truth to that? Or do you think that there were plenty of opportunities for them to meet before Shamia even got into the picture?
Oh, I don't know. I just know I blocked them all.
Gotcha. Okay.
I
All
have
right. That is no problem. So then back to the whole thing about him getting verified. Was that ever, I remember in the first interview we had, you said it was a point of contention. Do you remember? But we didn't expand because it was a 2-hour interview. You were with child. We didn't know them, but you were with child and you had to go, right, and get some sleep. But like, was that always a point of contention with being competitive, not even towards you, but just with other people about like, that whole popularity contest of who's on Instagram? Do you think that it would bother somebody like him to not be verified yet?
Oh, absolutely. He loves attention, but I mean, that's just who he is. That's just his personality. That's just how he is. It's no right and wrong in it. Sorry, my food just got here. Some dogs are going crazy.
Okay.
She got her
They're like,
guard dog. She has her guard dog
right, my little
protecting
guard
her.
dogs. But yeah, no, it definitely did. But I think he'll have his day when his show, or when he's on the show that he's on. I think when it airs, if it does, I think he'll have his day. And good luck to him.
Yeah, exactly. She by Sheree, spring fall 2022.
I have I have one question, and if you don't want to answer, I understand, Falynn. Do you see his kids, and what about your kids? Do they ask about, because they lived together for, it wasn't 7 months. People lose sight that you guys have been together for a long time. So are the kids, at least the kids, seeing each other? Can you see his kids?
Miriam trying to make me cry.
I know
Oh,
it. To
Mm.
be honest with you,
uh,
that's something that was on my mind.
um, no, the children don't see each other, and I wouldn't imagine that I would be allowed to talk to them, um, because of how toxic everything has been. I don't even know if I would, um, because it just brings on toxicity, um, for not just me, but my children as well.
Mm.
And it's unfortunate because his children and my children did have a very close bond. Um, and it's even more unfortunate for Liam because um, Liam knew him as his dad. And
Oh wow.
yeah, and so one day, he just wakes up and he's not answering his FaceTime calls. And, Simon won't talk to him. And so that has been, I think, I don't care about any of this other BS, honestly. That's the only part that really has gotten under my skin. And I think that is what would ever keep me from being in the same room. I could always be cordial. I can always be kind. That's just who I am by nature, unfortunately. But
Mm.
I could not be in the same room as him because of things that he has done to my child.
mm.
The older two they're fine.
Yeah.
They were older,
I know you.
so
Let me ask you a question. Um, so he faded out completely, and it was just like night and day. He was around Liam. Liam looked at him as a father. Now, I'm not going to get into how his fathering was. I don't want to get too personal, but whatever father figure he was the man in the house that he associated with being a dad. And then he just ghosted, right? What, getting back to the whole thing about Simon's name, Eeyore, stuff like that, how much time did Simon like actually spend in the country? Was
Nigeria.
he, what's that?
In
No,
Nigeria,
not Nigeria, but even like in America, like was Simon there like 365 days, 200 days? Did he travel a lot for business? Like how much was he in the country?
no, he has always been here. He never traveled. And the only time he ever traveled to Nigeria is when his father passed.
Hmm.
Oh,
No, he was here every day. We would only take domestic flights for the most part. Near the end, we started traveling overseas to Costa Rica, DR, and the Bahamas. That's where we went. But
Costa Rica,
no, he was
DR, and the
always here.
Bahamas. Mm. Did you see? And you said when you were in Costa Rica, you never stayed at this mansion that he supposedly bought, the vacation rental that he found that he bought. I'm being serious. I want to know. Did he?
No,
Like,
You
no,
know. You know what you know, Tisa.
I know nothing. I ask questions. That's all.
You already
No, but
have.
did you ever stay at that vacation rental? Did you even remember touring the grounds? You know,
touring the grounds.
touring the
No,
grounds. Like when he was like, flexing on the gram, swinging that camera around when the real estate agent was showing him around. Do you remember any of that stuff?
no.
Mm. Okay, so we'll do that. And honestly, did you now listen? I know that you knew Simon 4 or 5 years, but I mean, I do think it's possible that the unsavory things. I mean, we all have a past, right? So I think it's possible that you can date someone and like not know unsavory things about them because it happened so long ago. How would you know? And they're trying to hide it from you, right? Did you ever have any idea that he was actually deported or that he had served any jail time? Not and listen, I'm not judging Simon
No.
for serving jail time. There's lots of people that have served jail. You know what I'm saying? But did you have any
Yeah.
idea that that was happening?
No. And what's the craziest part is when you're not involved with someone anymore, you take those blinders off because when you're in
Mhm.
love, you have blinders on. And I had the biggest blinders on when I was with Simon. Like he was my world, and you couldn't tell me anything about when I'm in a relationship, they're my world. So it's like, now that the blinders are off, how is it that you never told me that you went to jail when I was born? I don't understand that. Like, I have told, like, we have had so many conversations about, people's criminal acts, even my little cute little things that I've had. I mean,
Yeah.
nothing that ever stuck or anything, but like, little fights or whatever. I mean, we
Yeah.
even laughed about it and everything. You never told me that in 1989 you were in jail. Like, I don't even know who I was married to. I don't.
Well,
That's
I mean, that
crazy.
sounded like that was, it sounded like he entered the marriage under false pretenses. He was that, being a fraud. It sounded like, and that's just unfortunate. I feel like that. Yeah.
No, go on. No, but here's the thing. Like, I feel what Mel's saying, like false pretenses. But if you don't mind, and listen, if I'm being too nosy, just say mind your business, right? But when you talk about like being married to someone, what was he like at his best? Like, I think we've seen him at his worst. I hope this is his worst, right? But I think we've seen him at his petty ass worst. But what was he like when he was like when he was at his best? Like, how did he like charm you? You know what I'm saying? Like, I can think back to
Oh
my
my
boyfriend, like that
God.
moment he just charmed me. Like, what was like when did
Oh
how
my
did he charm you?
God. Let me tell you, Simon the Charmer. That I love talking about every day, all day, because it really wakes me up. Simon led with his best foot forward, and not money, because he knew that that's not what would keep me or what would interest me. I didn't even know half the things that he introduced me, to, like the fancy stuff in life. I had no idea what any of that stuff was. How he charmed me was by telling me how smart I was, how not only beautiful I was, but how, he would call me, I'm sorry, let me just say it like this. He would always call me the diamond in the rough. I was his diamond in the rough, that no one would
Hmm.
ever, without him, he was the pressure to me, to the diamond, and
Wow.
without him, people didn't get to see my true potential, and now with him they can see who I truly am and what I bring to the world.
No, but again, I can see how that could be so seductive because I mean it's based on the
I was
truth. You know,
26, you're right. Yeah,
but
I was 26 years old. You're right.
exactly. Here's the thing: you weren't even a diamond in the rough. You were just a diamond that hadn't hit open
Off.
market yet. But that pressure, you were like, "Well, why I gotta have pressure? I'm already a diamond. Like, what you doing? You know?" So it's like,
He is there off. What is he talking about?
no, but
And
I could see how that would be incredibly, incredibly seductive to you. Like, how long did you guys date before, like, you guys started to really like take each other seriously? And I know you knew each other for 5 years, and in that 5 years, of course, because you weren't, I guess, for the most part, in a romantic relationship. And correct me if I'm wrong, it was easy for him to put his best foot forward. You know, you're seeing each other for weekends, cute little getaways, I would imagine. When did you start seeing, like, wait, like pressure bust pipes? Like, what are we doing? Slow down. When did that start happening?
Simon and I, we had our first blind date and we were inseparable ever since. So we were together day one.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I will say, in my opinion, I'm outside looking in. He does seem to have a fixation with you that I commonly see with like narcissistic people. So I could see, I mean, you're drop dead gorgeous. You have a beautiful body. The way you carry yourself, I could see him being
Mm-hmm.
like, yes, the ultimate trophy. And I don't mean to say that to demean you, because if you guys know anything about narcissists, they only look at people as possessions. You're either useful or not useful. You're either a trophy to be admired or a disgrace to hide. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't mean to say that you're like a trophy wife. I mean, like, narcissists look at everybody as either trophies or trash. That's it, right?
yeah,
You're useful or you're not useful. Um, Did you ever see things about like just any tendencies like entitlement, like a empathy, gaslighting, invalidating, emotionally unavailable, future faking? Did you ever see anything like that?
Absolutely, 100%. However, did I know throughout all those 5 years that it was narcissistic traits that I was dealing with? Absolutely not. I was in love. Like I said, I had my blinders on
Mm-hmm.
really thick. And I believed whatever it was that he told me.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Mm-hmm.
really lost in the sauce, honestly. I was. And um he was my everything. He was my world, and he was there to protect me. That's what I felt. So after everything, in the very near the very end of our relationship, is when it was when he told me to go to therapy.
Oh my
And
God.
you were
The
like,
therapy the therapist was like, on the low, like, Coco, wake up, Fallon.
I have
But
you
you know
know
what?
what?
That to me, I was going to. Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say, I'm not sure if you all ever saw Mad Men, but that sounds so much like Don Draper because he also had different personalities, and he also had sent his woman and his wife into therapy. But Val, I was going to ask you, have you ever saw Dirty John? Because you have such a story where you're married to a person who obviously married you under false pretenses, and then you had such a traumatic marriage full of these lies and emotions. Have people ever contact you about maybe writing a book, or maybe having your story turned into a movie for BET or Lifetime or something like that?
There's so much. The rabbit hole to my relationship goes so deep that if I sat here and told everything, um, you
This
this.
is your house. Be free. Be free. We have
Oh,
time.
no, no, no! It's
Look at
way
Miss
too long of a
Tisa.
story. It
I
it goes
love it.
really, really deep. I mean, I could only fit all of this in a movie, and it may even need a sequel. Like, so, yes, absolutely.
That
People
is a
have
book.
reached out.
Yes.
That is a book we
Yes.
would do. I have like, and did the way he treated the children and the father he portrayed to be, didn't that also play a role in you being attracted to him? Like the way he made you think that he took your kids as like his own, and did he use that as well to keep you like, in love with him? Because I would understand that that's as a mother, for me that's really important. I wouldn't bring anybody like close to my kids that wouldn't treat them right. Wouldn't it, didn't that play a role as well?
Um. Yes. As far as his fathering to our children, and when I say our, I mean us as a blended family at that time. I was the mom and the dad.
Mm.
So I never, and I take pride in being both parents to my children because that's all I've ever had to be. Um, so it was in our relationship, it was a breath of fresh air. I'll tell you when Jalen came around, and that's why he went for my friend. The main reason as to why he went for my friend to my assistant was because I finally had help with not just my but his children as well. Um, Jalen was a very big help with that. But with Simon as a dad, no, I was the parent. I raised all of those children by myself.
That's interesting that you say that you raised all the children by yourself, but at the same time, I do understand someone doesn't have to be, I mean, we see it from even everyday life with our birth parents. Someone doesn't have to be a perfect parent for the child to get attached to them, right? Even if you're a crap dad or mom, you still look at that as like, oh, well, that's my mom or dad.
Yeah.
Um, I'm sorry, go on.
No, you're right. You're
No,
so yeah.
sorry, Miriam. So definitely, but I want to bring it back to what you talked about, like when you went to therapy and the therapist was like, ding, 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 like, caca, caca, like, Fallon, run. I'll leave the office door open and distract them. Go, Fallon. Right? So I could see that
Mhm.
happening. But like, you alluded to something on the live, and at that time, you weren't ready to talk about it. So, I'm going to try to double dip. You alluded to this thing that I thought sounded so cryptic when you were like, he was willing to work things out with you. Because at first you wanted, for everybody doesn't know, right? Simon ended the marriage, we know, because he was sipping on peach juice, right? Then he said, oh, wait, no, I'm not ending the marriage. But you said one of the reasons he went back and forth is because he said that if you agreed to his terms, that he would call off divorce. But I remember
Right.
seeing your face and the pain on the terms. Do you feel comfortable telling, like, or at least alluding to, what were these terms that he needed you to do?
Well, one was to cut Jalen off. He didn't like anyone in my life that he couldn't control. For me, so that was not just Jalen. Jalen is just a poor guy. He was just on the forefront because he was a dude. But I had girlfriends as well that he'd try to cut off from me as well, or he'll say they're not good for you. You know, they just want to use you and your money and your lifestyle. They don't want the best for you. You know, things like that.
Mm.
So yeah, it just. It's so like as I'm saying it out loud, you go back and I have to laugh because I'm like, dang, did I really put up with that? Well, you know, as it all comes together. But yeah, no.
It
That
all
was
comes together. Do you remember, like, when you were going through, did you notice any changes in yourself, like the way you dressed, the way that you acted, the way that you approach things? Like, did you notice changes that he might have been like? I noticed in the last time we talked to you in the tarot reading, actually, you said you felt like you were getting back to yourself. Like, in what ways did you think you actually changed?
mm,
Did you change the way you dress, change the way you act, change the way? I know you
as
had to
far
change
as
the company you keep.
you know what? I was always myself for the most part. I've said this before. What changed was me. Um,
Okay.
he fell in love with the little, and
Mm-hmm.
when that little girl began to grow into a woman, um, at that point in time, I became a threat to our marriage. Is how I
Mm.
take it. Um, so I didn't. Nothing really changed. I will say the only thing, as far as like clothes and things like he always let me wear whatever I wanted to wear.
Okay.
It wasn't one of those relationships where it was like, oh my gosh, you know, put
Well, he loved your
put this
body. I
on,
can
put
see
this
him being
on.
like shorter,
However,
tighter.
oh yes, he
Do it.
loved it when
Do
I
it.
showed my body off. Yes,
Yes.
he loved that. However, he did make sure that I styled my hair a certain way or did not. I wasn't allowed to cut my hair, which was why when Simon and I were going through our separation
Wow.
before we announced our divorce, why I cut my hair. I was not allowed to cut my hair, and I like short hair on me rather than long hair. That was the first thing that I did was cut my hair.
Wow.
And then the second thing was what was the other thing? Not my clothes. It was something else. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Did he
What he
There's
did.
a few things, and Mariel, feel free to jump in with questions too. I don't mean to monopolize Fallon. I have her where I want her right now, but I also I just had to know two more things, right? And this
You know
is a
what?
little bit sensitive, right? Because I was on Instagram the other day. I actually did a video about it when I was like, why can't people ever keep a timeline? You know, you say one thing and they're just like, wait, if you say if you say ACB, and they're like, what is this? And you're like, it's the alphabet. Like, can we just please put things in sequential order? There was a live that you did that people were posting when you were
Mm.
talking about Simon and his alleged fertility issues. There was something with the timeline actually going on. This is one of two questions. Could you take a moment and clear it up? I don't want to put words in your mouth, but the way I heard it was there was a unplanned pregnancy. Both people decided this is not the right time. Then, when it was the right time, pregnancy was approached again. At that time, what was going on there? Like, what is the timeline between you finding out that Simon might potentially have problems conceiving?
Mm. Y'all clear. Sorry, y'all. The baby's hungry, so I'm over here
No,
eating and
it's
talking.
okay.
Yeah. So what I was saying was, and you guys have to excuse me. I have a very high percentile of ADHD,
That's okay.
pregnant. So that's why when I explain things, I kind of go backwards and I jump around, is because in my mind, everything is backwards and flipped around.
Yeah.
I'm actually doing a live discussing it tomorrow, but on my YouTube. But what I was trying to say was to lay out the timeline. Simon and I got pregnant very early, within the 5 years we were together, very early on in our relationship. I decided I did not want that pregnancy. I just was not there. First of all, Liam was like, what, 4? So I was not at that time in my life. And I wasn't very sure about Simon in that way yet. We weren't married. I wanted to do it right this time. For everybody who likes to talk about my baby daddies, I wanted to do it right. So I was like, okay, this guy is the one. Let me make sure I do everything right. And I did feel like he was the one for me at that time. I just did not want to have a baby. Later down the line, meaning, I would have to say, gun to my head, maybe 3 years later, we then decided that after we got married, we then decided that we wanted to try this time to have a baby again. It wouldn't, for the love of us, we could not get pregnant. And that's when I had learned that I thought it was me, honestly. But we had learned that it wasn't me. It wasn't me. Clearly.
I mean, clearly it wasn't you. Now, like, you know, and this is another rumor that I've heard going around. Tell me if it's so, but I'll approach this thing. There's a rumor, and is there any truth to it, that when you and Simon were either dating or together, that there was an altercation at a club between you and another group of young women, or one young woman thing. It might have been physical, it might have been verbal, but it was instigated from Simon being in the streets. Is there any truth to that rumor?
Yeah, that's very true.
Is it?
I was attacked by 9 women. And
What?
that was actually that's why Simon and I broke up before. I mean, amongst a couple of other things, but yeah, I really felt he didn't protect me. He stood there while the security guards tried to fight off all these women to get off of me. Simon had been talking to one of the girls all night from the section that attacked me. And I was attacked. They attacked me in the alleyway as we were walking to our car. And the security guards came running up, and they did the best they could, and eventually, I mean, the women went to jail. I'm fine. Mentally,
oh my God.
Oh gosh. The alleyway. That sounds like
So he
Porsha.
had been flirting with this, I guess, one of the women all night, talking all night.
right.
And
I
then,
mean, now imagine, I mean, this is just coming from my end of what I saw. He was
of
talking to the
course,
woman all night. Whether or not they were flirting, I'm not exactly sure, but you know how we women think. We see our man talking to another woman, of course we're going to assume that they were flirting. So in my words, yes. Yeah. So I was attacked by 9 women, and after that I just kept asking, I kept screaming, and how you hyperventilate and scream at the same time, you can't really get the words out. I was doing one of those, and I'm just like, why didn't you do anything? Why couldn't you help me? And he said this was years ago, and he repeated it to Jalen at the end of our marriage once again, before we decided to go our separate ways. This was like one of the last conversations that the 3 of us had, just sitting in the kitchen. He said, I would never jeopardize everything I worked for in order to protect you or do anything in that nature. I could not jeopardize my reputation for that. And Jalen said, as my best friend, Jalen's sitting there looking at him like, what you mean is, right?
yeah.
Like, and what do you mean that you wouldn't protect her? And he said, listen, I'm not going to jail for that.
Wow. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
so
No, I'm so
it's
sorry.
just all these, I mean, I'm one with it now, which is why I could talk about it. You know, before when I was quiet about everything, I couldn't talk about all this stuff, but
So
I can now, just understanding.
so when it came to you actually, but then in the aftermath that it happened, like what did he tell you so that you like stayed? Like did you think it was a random attack, or like did you know it was somehow related? And then he said, "Well, I'm not going to jeopardize." Like, or were you
We
like,
broke up.
what made you stay after that?
No, we broke up after that. That
Oh,
was the
okay.
last straw for me.
Oh,
We
Do
broke
you
up after
think?
that. However, we did get back together. He asked me to
Mhm.
marry him. I was his fiance at that time. We broke up. We got back together, and he
Oh,
re-proposed again after we got back together.
is this that
Like,
9 month break that I heard about? Somebody told me that you guys
yes,
broke up for like almost a year.
yeah,
So this is true. The nine. Shout out to my
that is
sources.
true.
So this is true. So it
wow.
was a 9 month, almost
Who
a
knows
nine
my
month
business
break.
out there?
Listen,
Uh-oh.
my,
No, but so this
my
was like a
straw.
9 month break that you guys actually took. Because I can imagine, like it took a lot of healing to get through that, right? Like, of course, of
Mm,
course. And
Gosh.
right.
then he came back with the marriage. Well, you were already the fiance, but he was like, "All right, let's do this. Let's have the fairy tale."
Right. I mean,
Wow.
he came back, really upset. He's really upset about, I mean, if you ever get him to talk about it, he'll be really upset about that night. So I still not realizing what it was that I was dealing with, and having the big forgiving heart that I have, I took
Mm-hmm.
him back. And that was another reason why I didn't want to talk about it, because I felt stupid for taking him back. And I
Mm-hmm.
felt like the world was going to kick my back in for, doing that, giving him a second chance after something so horrific. But I did. And then we got married 3 months later.
You mentioned like also that Simon played mind games and he liked to control, and that there were instances of, if not other women, other things that you thought were disrespectful to a committed relationship. You mentioned he was talking to the girl in the club, but was this a regular thing where he would talk to women in front of you, maybe not be flirtatious, but kind of like make him give you the side eye? Like, again, I say this because I remember watching that footage with the Real Housewives when Porsha came over, right? And the thing Simon said, and I remember I didn't know anything was going on back then, but I remember giggling, just like, I know that look, where Simon would say something and you would like smile, but be like, look at him. Like you would side eye the hell out of him sometimes, like, okay, like just watch yourself. Was this something very common where he was either very flirtatious, or do you think he tried to control you with jealousy to kind of knock you down a peg because you look like
Mm-mm.
you and he looks like him, so he had to let you know that, you know what I'm saying?
No. Like I said in my interview, Simon doesn't get caught unless Simon wants to be caught. Those are his
Mm.
words. So no, he had almost 30 years on me, so he knew what he was doing, and I was just a stupid young girl who was in love.
So when you saw something, then you could pretty much be assured from what you know of him now that it was some way of getting under your skin. It wasn't just a random thing. So I guess you developed a survival instinct of just not reacting, just not
Oh yeah,
reacting, because you're like, I know where you're going with this. I know that you're only showing me this because you want a reaction. So I'm just not going to react.
Yeah. Gosh.
yeah. It was
I wish that Iyanla Van Zant was still doing her show, because I would have loved to have Fallon as a guest on that program where she can tell her side of the story, and it wouldn't be sort of to reconcile her relationship with Simon at all, but it would be just for more, I guess more
I mean,
healing for her.
Mel, I
I
see what you're saying, but go on, Miriam. I'm sorry.
I know I love Fix My Life, because just like full disclosure here, a lot of things that you're saying, like relating to, and I lived that stuff. I know what it is to be like in love with someone, and at the same time they use that love to control you and
yeah.
isolate you from girlfriends, not only like boyfriends, forget it. I was never allowed to have that when I was married, but even girlfriends, he had a problem with that, and he wanted to isolate me from my family as well. So I have like 3 unrelated questions. One for you is like, did he also like try to isolate you from your own family? Second, do you think that Porsha sought the help of Shamia? So it wasn't Shamia who initiated the introduction? Because that's my guess. And third, did you ever meet Andy Cohen?
Oh,
No, I never met Andy. No. And as far as Shamia goes, guys, I'm still putting pieces together with y'all, as you know. So I don't know. I just, when I did catch wind, the second I did, like I said, I blocked everybody. Everybody got blocked. I didn't ask any questions. I don't want to know why, who, what, where. I don't know. I just blocked everybody. If they had a dogs page, they got blocked. Like I blocked everybody.
I mean, you have to. It's like literally you realize you're in enemy territory, right? You got to button down and protect yourself, lock all the doors. And definitely, I get that.
Fallon.
And what about your family?
I was going to say. Oh yeah, I was going to say, Fallon. Go ahead. No, I was just going to say, Fallon, do you feel a support from the fans? Because I'm thinking we were just talking before you logged on about how Porsha was having all these issues with whether she was stayed, all the turmoil, the cast, and all that. And I feel it's because people feel that what she did to you was so unfair. But do you feel the support from maybe the cast that's currently there, and also the fans that maybe this is the reason why she's having difficulty from the public, and also with any interaction she's having with Bravo?
Yes, I do feel the support from the fans and even the cast members. Yeah, I do feel all of the support. Of course, we have a bit of naysayers that come in every here and there, but and I understand, rightfully so. Not there are people who just want to know every little detail before, they want to see it. They want to see receipts and everything. And doing all of that, I have it, but doing all of that is just beneath me, honestly.
Yeah.
So,
And I was going to say, I bet you feel validated that she's having business-wise, as far as her online persona on Dish Nation and her relationship with Bravo. It just seemed all of it is all in turmoil since this controversial, reveal that she had. It seemed like all her public business has gone down. So, it just feels like the sympathy is for you. That must feel, I'm not sure if the right word would be good, but it just must feel like you're very validated that you're a human being and you shouldn't have been treated that way.
Well, honestly, so is she. She is human as well. And her losing out, whether she was fired or she quit, whatever the reason is behind it all, when our lives are uprooted, and it's uncomfortable, especially as a mother. She's a mother at the end of the day, and her life throughout all of this was uprooted, and essentially that means her babies is too. So regardless of what her intentions are or were, I can only speak on myself. I had good intentions in my marriage. I knew how it was ending, when it was ending, if it was ending. And that's my truth to stick by. And whatever it is that she has done in her life, just like me, just like you or anybody else, she's going to have to answer to that. But I would never wish any harm on anyone, regardless of what they've done to me, because I'm going to be all right. I'm God's child.
Oh, we already see that. Your steps are ordered. You are anointed in the blood. Listen, Fallon, just a little more insight, T, since you've given us gold. I'm glad that you guys, we're going to take, I know Fallon can't stay on forever, but I'm going to let you guys ask her a few questions from the audience. Don't embarrass me asking her any dumb stuff, all right? So let's get to her questions.
Come on now. That's right.
Wait, hold on. Before you do that, Miriam, I just had a quick question. Fallon, when you guys, and again, tell me if I'm being too nosy, but when you guys filed taxes, did you guys file jointly or separately?
Separately.
Did you file married filing separately or just as two independent? Did you file single or like married separately?
We were definitely separate, seeing how I didn't have a job because I wasn't allowed to work. So
Gotcha. That was a
Okay.
smart move, Mama. The Taurus
Yeah.
Earth sign energy. You're like, that's cute. I'll file my own little tax return. No, you go ahead. It's fine.
yeah,
It's
it's
fine.
fine. That's all
Yeah,
right.
it's fine. It's
Yeah.
fine.
So Falynn, did his isolation, like trying to isolate you from your friends only, or also from your family as well?
Mm. I think I'm still healing from narcissism. So
Mhm.
all I can do is just state the facts, and then, you take it as how you will. There are sometimes I'll state some facts and people will be like, Falynn, that was a narcissistic trait. And I'm like, oh, so I'm still playing catch up. But I feel like yes and no. There were times, I don't know if it was a game though. See, I'm still lost on that part, and I really want to speak to a professional, like a licensed
Mhm.
professional, on narcissism, because I really want to learn how to. I've healed, which is why I'm capable of speaking about it. But I I don't feel like I can be 100% healed until I dissect. I'm a dissector. Like I have to dissect every inch of my past with this person in my life, so that I'm capable of saying, you know what, I've been there and done that, and I can answer questions like this.
Mhm.
As far as my friends, absolutely 100%, hands down, because those he's like, I'm not sure if they're good people for you, or they have your best interests at heart, or things like that. So of course, but as far as my family goes, you kind of have to be a bit more strategic with that. um, there are some family members that I don't even talk to anymore since I was married, and I'm not even married anymore, to him. So
So did the
um,
talking, the estrangement happen while you were actually actively married, or was the estrangement happening after you guys separated
with whom?
with your family members?
Oh, it was always on and off throughout the
Okay.
5 years of us being together.
Mm.
Yeah, isn't
Yeah.
it so typical of people who like when someone like is an emotional abuser, he he puts you down, then he butters you up again. He builds you up. You think, oh, he's changed, and then it's like a roller coaster, and then he attacks again, and you think out of the blue, but then again, it's a cycle that seems like kept going with you, not only regarding I'm not talking about your family, but like isolating you from people and inserting in your mind those doubts that nobody is with you really because of you, but because of what you have. So obvious what he was doing with you. And don't you ever think that you were young and dumb? You were living with a man, you were committed in that relationship, and he was a master manipulator.
He was a master manipulator. Fallon, I do definitely, we're going to take some questions from the crowd really quick. One or two questions. I know the baby is, but congratulations on the
Yeah.
baby girl. We know
Congratulations.
she is going to be
Congratulations.
Thank you.
absolutely gorgeous. And I'm
Bright new
so
future.
happy for you that the baby's
Hmm.
actually growing in like a cocoon of love
And it
and
grows.
calmness. I'm
And
glad that you
Thank
guys
you.
are really enjoying this time and taking this time to really work on like your family. It's a
And I think
beautiful, beautiful thing.
too, Fallon, this is probably going to be the best Christmas you've had in maybe years. So you're probably going to just be the love and the blessing of this of your pregnancy and your children, and just your new relationship. Just bright future in 2022, probably going to be even better than you can ever imagine. I just think that I'm sure that you've been like a inspiration to so many young girls and women that say, listen, I was, I lived my life. Some person came along
Right.
and swept me up. And I think
Right.
that, yeah.
And that's honestly, thank you for saying that. And that's honestly why I do speak out so much about this, because one, I have so many different life experiences outside of this one. However, this one was the one that was public. And I love speaking up because you just never know who it is that you're helping with your story.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
With just a story, helping women feel like they're not, letting them know that they're not alone, and that if I made it, you can make it too, regardless of what society says or how it may look to friends or family or people who don't even know you. Regardless of what people think of you, it's your life to live. You came in this world alone. That's exactly how you're going to leave it. So you might as well live it up.
Yeah,
No, I
also,
completely.
well, I'm sorry. I was just going to say, well, like I said, I think that whatever happens between the man and the wife, or in a partnership or in marriage, is really nobody else's business to judge, and especially
Right.
if you were the person who was wrong. So I think that whatever you and Simon, partnership was, is between you and him, and so whatever that was, and I think that it's all good. But I think that if he was treating you, and that he was treating you in this way, and betrayed you this way, whatever you share is up to you, and also there's no judgment for you. Or I mean, it's just ridiculous. So I think that everything is perfect, and I think that you are making the right decisions. And yeah, again, I think you have a bright future, a very bright future with more babies and blessings than you can probably handle.
I definitely think you definitely have a bright future. I will say, to your point, Mel, and to definitely your point, Miriam, and of course, Fallon, you know, yes, definitely seek out. But I've studied, I've worked with people that are actually like studied them and worked with people that are actually narcissists. And it's so good you're doing this, to Mel's point, because there are a lot of people that think, oh, I'm just dealing with somebody emotionally cold. I'm dealing with somebody emotionally unavailable. The first sign of getting to the bottom of a narcissist is realizing you want to see what's true. The only thing's true is that everything is fake. You almost have
Mm,
to imagine you're dealing with somebody that every morning puts on a meat jacket, zips it
Mm,
up, looks like a human. There's nothing real. Any tears. The only thing that's actually real when it comes to narcissism is their ego. Is their anger at their ego somehow being disrespected or somehow losing any type of social value? So that anger that blasts out, that's the real part. So it's wonderful that you're actually talking about this and a conversation is uh, being had and you're the one having it. And it's really brave of you that on so many sites, there are so many people that confuse what you go through with being with someone that's a little bit toxic or a little bit abusive. It's like they just have no idea what. But the thing is, anyone that's ever dealt, or been with anybody that is narcissist, because they're like, it's like saying, have you ever met a dog, right? The dog wags its tail, the dog barks whenever somebody's at the door. There's a code that they live by and that they all do. So it's wonderful you're sharing your story. What do you think, if you're talking to younger women or you're talking to anyone, even older, because anyone can meet somebody like this, what do you actually think advice you would give them, or what do you think you would have done differently to kind of avoid it besides leaving? But were there any warning signs you saw early that you were just like, something's not quite right here?
Maybe him giving me all of these compliments about my mind before even knowing anything about my mind. That probably would have been the first.
wow.
But
Right.
me being so young, I'm like, really? I'm like, me? You know? Yeah, no, as far as the advice part of how to spot a narcissist, I'm still trying to figure that out now. I'm telling you, I've done all types of research on my own.
Mhm.
Talked to a couple of therapists about narcissism. However, I haven't found the perfect therapist to really get me to deep dive into myself and try to figure
Mhm.
out what was it about this person. And I think the only thing that I've come up with is I have abandonment issues. And I feel like we are the easiest targets for narcissist people.
That's right.
They see
I have serious abandonment issues from my childhood. So I think that is kind of preyed on, and that they could spot that from a mile away.
Yeah.
Um,
And
and
yeah.
hmm and
No,
now
I
that
just.
I'm learning from that, I'm seeing that at least was the first part, that I was just
Mhm.
Mhm.
off target.
I was going to say too, Fallon, did you ever so I agree with you. I think that narcissists may even be categorized as emotional vampires. So sometimes they sort of seek out, they prey, they groom them, as you know, the grooming is sort of these words for predators. And then I think that for me, what I've learned, because I wouldn't go too deep, I think you're a brave sister to really just go here. But for me, in my experiences, I felt drained. I'm not sure if you felt this too. I felt drained emotionally. So you can be interacting with them and have a wonderful experience, wonderful dinner, wonderful gifts, or whatever it may have been. And you go to bed and go, oh my gosh, I feel so tired. Why did I feel tired? I felt drained when I interacted with people that was, I felt physically drained. And I think that people can be in marriages or relationship with people who drain them and not know it. And then that might be one of the sort of the hints that you go, wait a minute, I feel drained when I'm around them. So that was always sort of, yes.
Yes, that was, you just described my marriage in a nutshell.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I could sense that. I could sense that, that kind of person who's always putting up different facades and different stories and illusions can be very draining. And then you leave out of it under a cloud of lies and mist of craziness. And you're sort of like, oh my gosh, what did I go through? How many years was this? And what's going on? What year are we in? It happens like that with people like this. And I think that what I learned in my own life is that I wasn't responsible for attracting them, that, they could smell it like bees to honey, and that you will get drained and you will be hypnotized by this person. I think that when you realize that it wasn't it wasn't your fault, which it wasn't, you can be empowered by that. That you had, I was taught that whatever's meant to happen happens because it happened. That's the only way it was meant to happen. You were meant to sort of grow stronger from the situation. And I think that you will be even stronger. You already you're blessed, so blessed. But I think that for you going forward, maybe whenever you feel that you're drained, you're in a beautiful relationship, whenever you feel drained, you go, wait a minute, my spider senses are going off. Something is wrong with this person. I'm being drained, I'm confused, I'm tired, and I'm frustrated with this person. I don't want to interact with them.
I will say, had I not gone through this marriage and maybe even the public divorce, I would have ended up back up with Simon. That's for sure. I would have.
Wow. Okay.
I would have.
Well, that's honest.
And I would have been living in a cycle. I would have kept a certain cycle because, I felt like, not that I didn't deserve more, but that was as good as it was going to get.
Yeah.
And I had it not, I'm telling you, people, even down to the people who were ridiculing me, it really does make you open up your eyes. And I've read even the hate comments, and even I've found clarity even in the hate comments,
That's deep.
it has really taught me a very big life lesson. And I can only thank God, excuse me, that I came out of it.
Absolutely.
Do you have, like, how did you heal afterwards? Because I would imagine, like, usually whenever I've worked with anyone that's actually been in any type of narcissistic relationship, one of the biggest things is when you leave, there's certain behavior patterns you learned, and it's almost like living in the wild and then having to incorporate yourself around functional people that's just like, no, we don't do that around here. How did you kind of like change your behavior patterns to learn to live around semi-functioning people,
After we separated?
Yeah, after you separated, because I find that's common when people deal with abusive relationships down to narcissism. There are toxic behavior patterns that are absorbed, right? Communication style, this, that, and the third. Maybe one common thing, I'm not saying you suffer from it, but one common thing is the inability to voice when you're upset, because when you're upset, they will take that and use it against you and twist it so that you end up even being in more pain. So you learn to keep that pain to yourself because it's like almost like feeding them. Like, did you find that you had to unlearn things like that?
Oh, yes, absolutely. How I healed from all of that was I went ghost, and you guys all saw it. I didn't talk to family. I didn't talk to friends. I answered people just enough to let them know I was okay, which I wasn't. But just say, yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. And I had to, excuse me, I had to force myself to listen to my own voice and listen to my own intuition and be my own strength, my own form of strength. because I knew within me that I had the answers, but there were just days where I didn't believe them because I believed everything that I was told for 5 years.
Yeah.
And it got to a point where I had to, and it was hard. I had to force myself to be by myself. Except for Jalen. Jalen was always there. But he was helping me with the kids. So that I could afford to, isolate myself and figure out, do you want to come out of this or do you want to harbor? What do you want to do? And I was forced to have to make that decision for myself. And when I did, and I got to that light at the end of the tunnel, I finally realized that you were always enough. You were more than enough. And you weren't just more than enough. You were the lifeline for this person. And you always had that it factor. You just forgot along the way. And that's why that person was there to even begin with. So everything, all these lies and everything that they're telling in the media and trying to make you seem like you're this person, you don't have to say anything. You don't have to talk badly upon them, in order to feel good about yourself again, because you already do. You already know who you are.
Enough, Falynn. You don't need to. Just like I said before you came
And I
on,
won't.
that we don't need to tell what they're doing, because they are doing enough for everybody to see. And I just want to tell you something. Like, when you feel drained, just know that by sharing your story, you're filling a lot of people with hope. And just like knowing that we were not alone, that experience that we lived wasn't only our experience because of who we are, but because of who we're with. And I think that's very important. And thank you for sharing. Like, I am like in awe. I'm gonna rewatch this, not because I'm here, but you told us so much. Like, I'm really like having like all my so I never knew you, but I always saw something like like they're trying to attack you just to deflect of what they did. But that's irrelevant. When it came to light that you and Jalen are together, yeah, why not? Like, why it has to be you to be alone while they are celebrating their union? Like, why not? Like, the double standard, like, is hurtful. But just know that you came to the light, and maybe thank Porsha for doing what she did so that you got out of that.
I want to answer this question. Yes, thank you for saying that. Queen said, Falynn, I understand this painful situation you went through, but will you ever forgive? You know what, Lyman, nobody. Will that ever happen? I already have forgiven him. I don't look at Simon in the awful, dirty ways. I understand, I recognize what I went through, but I don't look at him that way. I don't look at him in a negative light. I look at it, and I choose to look at it, my marriage and everything, even after everything that I've gone through, in a positive light, because my thoughts are what I give out and I put out into the universe. And so long as I'm putting out positivity, that's what I'm going to get back. So I don't look at him in that way. I have already forgiven him a long time ago.
It's
When I
beautiful.
throw shade, it's just to be funny, but I really don't. I
That's
really
beautiful that he has no more power over you, and that you've
That's
reached a
wonderful.
point, which is why I don't know if you were on her earlier. I definitely think you would be amazing back on the Real Housewives, even how you clearly had the emotional maturity. I know it's just for us to watch the smoke go off, but honestly, it's like it actually showed the side of maturity to show that, like, you're doing fine, which, if anybody's ever known a narcissist, is probably killing them. But at the end of the day, like you said,
Right.
Simon was just a very small, dark part of your life, that was a stumbling block, admittedly, when you were in the thick of it, but now you've moved on so much. It's actually interesting, though, with Jalen being your best friend, And I know with narcissism, when people tend to hide stuff. Did Jalen see this happening, or I guess as you got closer, did you start opening up? Like, did you hide this from everyone, or did everybody kind of see what was going on in your inner circle?
What, the end of my marriage?
Not the end of the marriage, but just even how like Simon was just very, very toxic. Like, did Jalen see that from the beginning, or was it something that as you opened up, because I know you're very guarded, as you opened up, you started sharing things with him?
What a lot of people don't know about the relationship between Simon and Jalen is that there was one outside of me.
Oh,
Jalen, I wouldn't say necessarily friends, because Jalen was always my friend first, and
mhm.
Simon and I don't take on each other's friends like that.
Okay.
And he didn't want him around because he couldn't control him in our relationship like he could everyone else. But Jalen has a lot to say. He has always had a lot to say, which is why in the media you'll see Jalen speak up every here and there, because Jalen was in it with me just as much
Mm-hmm.
as my friend. And now, mind you, now he went from my friend to being my assistant. So now he's really in the household, and he's there every day, and he technically lives with us, and he sees everything. Um, and Simon also didn't have many friends. So he would go to staff, and talk to them, and, things like that. I mean, we only have 3 staff members there in the
Mhm.
house. So he would talk to Jalen a lot because he was the other man around, and they had a different relationship outside of me. So that's
Mm.
why Jalen comes out and he feels hurt and betrayed, as well as I, because he knows that these things that Simon has said about the relationship between Jalen and I it was a lie. I
Mm.
mean, now I'll tell you, Simon had 30 years on me. So if he didn't like the relationship between Jalen and I, it's probably because he foresaw it, but he also knew that he wasn't doing right by me.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he felt
And
threatened,
yeah.
which
Mm-hmm.
I can see that now, like putting myself in his shoes. I can see that now. However, at that time, it was just, for me, it was like protecting me and my individuality, because you cut off all my other friends. I don't go anywhere. I'm
Mhm.
in the home 24/7. I do everything you tell me to. And now my only 2 friends that I have, it wasn't just him, it was another person. My only 2 friends that I make sure I bring them and keep them in the house so that you can watch everything. Now you don't want them around either. So that's why I fought to have my 2 friends as much as I did in my
Mhm.
marriage. Um, it was not because of any cheating or scandals going on.
Gotcha.
No, we were in the house in front of you 24/7. So
Mhm.
that's why Jalen is so upset about it all. And then me just getting into a relationship with Jalen later on. I mean, it was just, for me, it was just, that's where I was supposed to be.
Yeah, I
Wow.
agree. Wow, got the chills
Well,
on
I
that.
think what, for me, I think that it's so crazy how they project that sort of idea of lies and schemes onto you when the other people were the ones that was responsible for that kind of behavior.
Hmm.
Yeah, I just think one thing I want to point out, like, I feel like, yeah, who wouldn't fall in love with the only person that's really helping you
That's
and
right.
enabling you to have that time to heal? On,
Mm-hmm.
on the other hand, how did she fall in love with him? What made
Oh.
her fall in love with him? Like, see, like, the deflection is like is blindfold. Like, it's obvious. I totally see how you could fall in love with your best friend. He was the only one there with you, and he saw something. I think even before you did. That's
Yeah,
what I think Dylan did. This is why Simon couldn't control him anymore.
probably. I mean, I wasn't looking at my friend that way, but I mean, Jalen wasn't even looking at me that way. Like, we would talk about his girls all the time. Like, no, no. Back then, like, looking at him, ew, yucky, like, no, 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 no. But, um, it organically happened. You're right, Miriam. I mean, him being around my children, him as he always has been, and him helping me. And when the media was tearing me apart,
Yeah.
friends were ghosting me, friends weren't talking to me, you know. People, I thought, I have celebrity friends too, you know, and nobody came to the light, to the media, to say Falynn is a good mom, Falynn was a good wife, you know. Nobody, like nobody. The only person who stuck up for me was Jalen in the
Yeah.
public eye. Nobody stuck up for me.
What about Sharon?
Who's Sharon? Oh, Sharon.
Sharon, sorry about that dyslexia. What about Sharon?
What about him?
Okay, moving on. So nobody came. Okay, enough said. So nobody came to your defense. Why do you think that they ghosted you and they didn't come to your defense?
I think the situation, honestly, and I don't hold it against them, but it just, like, I was just shedding light on that because it it was just easy to fall in love with Jalen. But
Yeah.
Mm,
because he was the only one, I'm leaving this marriage where I wasn't protected, you know, physically, mentally, emotionally, everything. I was not protected. And I'm leaving that situation for to someone who, and the only person in the world who is protecting me, and that's Jalen. At the detriment of his own name and
yeah.
reputation, at the detriment of himself. He made sure that he went out of his way to protect me and my children. So you're damn right. I fell hard. And yeah, I mean, it, it was just easy.
It was just easy and it's understandable. And you know what? I do have to say, you guys, I mean, you have that earth sign energy. You found a way to work around it. But now we look and we laugh and we're like, haha, sliming nobody. But I remember when you were a ghost, it was a full on assault from all angles where everybody was trying to bury you and put you in the glass and put you in the ground. And now look, you guys are growing, you guys are thriving, you're living on your terms. The YouTube channel is very successful, and potentially you might be asked back for another season of Bravo.
Oh,
So, you
you're the
know,
only one who can save that show, Falynn. You're the only one.
That's right.
Mm.
listen, it's a really humble. Let's take a few questions from the crowd, and of course, Miriam, Mel. I don't mean to cut you guys off if you guys have any more questions, but does anybody have any questions for Falynn? Do not embarrass me, you guys. Okay, let's have some real questions, right? Does anybody have any questions for Falynn that they'd like to ask her about anything? As you guys can see, that's one thing I can say about Falynn. She's incredibly, at the same time, very protected, but also an open book when it comes to the truth. Like, this is the truth, you
I
know?
see that. She, yeah,
This
I
is
mean,
and I want you guys to know. And she's incredibly mature about it, you know?
mhm.
Voice. Oh my God. I'm double your age, Falynn, probably, and I aspire to be more like you. You know, like
Oh,
just the
wow.
way you carry yourself. I'm serious, and I said that before today, before I even met Tissa. I always said that. When I saw you speak, I never saw you attacking them, and the way you carry yourself, like I can't. I can't. I would love to be more like you're setting an example that's it's hard and act hard to follow. I'm just saying
And I think
it's
that
not
Simon,
here
I was
every
gonna say, I was gonna say, and I think that Simon and them use a bad tactic to try to, the idea of trying to defame you, which I think maybe, I wonder if it's even liable to, you know, when people go out there to talking bad and spilling lies about people, you can probably sue them for, you know, trying to defame you, you know, as somebody you're not. But I think that, again, I just think that whatever happens between the marriage and the marriage is nobody's business besides the people in the marriage. And I think that whatever you all talked about and did, and whatever you feel like sharing is your business, you know, and you can share it as fast or as slow as you want to. And I think that, you know, a marriage is very complicated. And the idea that even the idea, you know, you having your friends over, they try to make it into some, you know, seedy, crazy story is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So a few questions from the crowd, right? Um, Everybody's really focused on the pregnancy. They want to know, one, how did Simon know you were pregnant, and what made you come out and announce your pregnancy
Mm.
so soon?
Um, I'm still unclear about how he knew I was pregnant. I had just found out,
Hmm.
actually after my interview. So it was just, it was kind of odd that he knew. There weren't that
Hmm.
many people that I had told. Um, I have a hunch, however, I don't want to speak on them.
Okay.
But mutual people.
Okay.
Um, but even when he came out with it, I had to. I just couldn't. I couldn't say anything. One, how dare you? I wanted to have that moment to tell the world.
Mm.
And you're not really supposed to speak on it, so they say, until after a certain time, which is like 2 months, could be 3 months or whatever. And I didn't get that. I didn't get to have that moment to tell everyone. And then not only that, you twisted a beautiful thing after you and I didn't care about, you going off and getting engaged with anybody. Did I bash you? No. I didn't say anything. I just wanted a divorce. That's all I wanted. You asked for a divorce and I wanted to sign off. That's all. And you came out and you not only told my beautiful story, and you not only told my beautiful story, sorry, you also came out with a lie and attached it to something to make me look like I was a bad person. It was like, you went and got engaged, you went public, you chose to go public with your life, and that's fine. You have that. You were open to that. That is your life. You could do whatever you want with your life. But when people started dragging you for it because they didn't like it and it was messy, then it was like, well, Fallon's pregnant and she cheated. It's like, what? What do I have to do with this?
Come on now.
You
Come
know?
on.
And then it forced me into having, after weeks of getting dragged, it forced me into having to speak out about my divorce that I never even wanted to talk about in the first place. So now here I go. Here we go to the interview.
Mm.
And sitting there, and this is the first time I'm actually opening up about my divorce. I hadn't even talked about it out loud yet. So I was doing it in front of the camera. And I
Mhm.
start talking about the kids. Then I get emotional. And now everybody's like, oh, now she's emotional over Simon and this and that, and you's a lion. And it's like,
Yeah.
no, because my divorce, it sucks. But at the end of the day, Simon and I left that marriage a long time ago before anybody even knew. That's why I didn't care to speak on his engagement. But you did not have to involve me in your mess. And
Yeah.
then spin me to make it look like I was doing all of these things to you when I did nothing to you but agree to leave. So that's what I mean.
How
It's
did
You know
not
what?
you manage that shock?
Yeah.
How did you manage that rage? Because I could imagine if
whew,
it's bad enough in your circle of people are talking trash and someone's picking on you, but on a national scale, how like did Jalen have to hide your phone? Like, how did you stop from just being Twitter fingers all night in the middle of the bed? You know?
Jalen was not allowed to watch um, any reviews on the mess. I did not look at my phone. I mean, I was already going dark just from my divorce being public. Then this
Mhm.
happened and I went even more dark, but I came out in light. Because like I said, I had to make a choice. Either this could make me or it could break me. And so
Mm.
I made a choice. And by the time I came out, now I'm like, oh yeah, we can talk about it backwards and forwards now. I'm good.
Yeah.
Fallon, I have a question. So now, if you have if you want to have a party in your pool, are you do you have in the back of your mind, who can I trust to invite to swim in my pool? I'm sorry.
I've always believed in keeping my circle tight. Um, Over the years, it's gotten tighter and tighter. especially when you allegedly have money. But then
Allegedly.
Allegedly, honey. Come on now.
okay, and then so I've learned to do that to keep my circle tight anyway. No one would have ever been swimming in my pool had I not been told to do a show.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well,
To see why.
this is actually a good question from Queen. Because again, this is a great time to clear up all the rumors we've been, hearing. She said, "Why was Lyman Nobadia so adamant about adopting your last boy and not all three boys? Can you clarify that? Also, what happened the day he said your kids will end up working at McDonald's?" She said, "Was he drinking that day? He lost his damn mind."
That's my YouTube daughter, Queen. Love you.
Like I said, Simon and Liam had a very close relationship. They had a very close bond.
Mhm.
Simon has been what was in his life since he was 4. So he was there. He wasn't a very hands-on dad. I don't think he's ever been. He wasn't for my children.
Mhm.
But yet, that was a very young age to be around a man and then be the only man in his life. And so he wanted to take on, first of all, the other two, they're older, they have dads. So it's not, I've always had Liam by myself. So Liam as his own. Of course, he didn't go through with that. I mean, he could have outside of whatever, but he didn't.
Do you
He
think that
chose
was
not
an
to. I mean,
ego
he didn't
drama?
talk.
Do you think that was drama between Liam and his dad, and he was just trying to like lash out and take something from him?
Yeah.
It was just a narc to narc fight.
Oh,
Ooh.
okay. Well, you said you wanted to stay away from that, so we'll let baby Pena rest easy tonight. Not bring up any memories you haven't worked through yet. But that was an interesting tidbit. It was a narc to narc fight. Okay, that would make sense. That would make sense. We had uh, Oh, somebody wants to know when you actually left. But then again, no. So I'm sorry. Justice wants to know when you actually left. Did it become violent? But from what I understand, it was at the time when you guys separated. It was kind of you kept it very peaceful, as peaceful as you could, and just consciously uncoupled. Or was there any type of drama at that time?
At the time of
When you separated?
Was there drama? Ugh.
Was there drama, or was it like you described, just you guys just you let him go, he went on his way, and that was it? Because a lot of people in the chat are wondering, was it like, did it get violent? Did it get very ugly, very abusive when
Oh
you
my God.
decided you wanted to leave?
Oh my gosh, no. And that was another upsetting part of those are good questions, guys. No, that was another upsetting part about the whole divorce thing. Um, we had several conversations, deep conversations about um, how we wanted to go about this in the media. And he actually used Latoya and her ex-husband as an example. He screenshot like the drama between the two and sent it to me and said, "This is what I don't want us to look like in the media. I don't want us to destroy each other and to go back and forth and, just start ripping each other apart." And I said, exactly, like, that's what we're not going to do. Haha, and jokes on me.
He was standing there with his fingers behind his back crossed, like,
Uh-oh.
absolutely.
Gotcha. Gotcha, bitch. Once again. Yeah, that's why it was so upsetting, because we really had discussed so many different times of how we were going to make sure that we stayed a family. And had things gone copacetically, and I love you, baby, but I don't know if there would have been a Jalen. if things went the way they were supposed to. And that was, he goes his way quietly, I go my way quietly, and we stay together as a unit for the children's sake, and co-parent for the children's sake, even though they weren't biologically mine or his. He knew that's how I looked at his children. I looked at them like they were mine, and I wanted to have them in my life forever. And he appreciated that. So that's why it was also very heartbreaking, because it's like I went my way and you went your way, but the way you went was like, I don't even know.
Yeah.
That's the way he chose. I don't know if he thought maybe he was just trying to beat me to the punch, with trying to diss somebody because I was going to be upset with him being with this person, which I would have never been. But how involved he was with me and getting to know who I truly was after 5 years. Because had he known me for real and he was really trying to get to know me for 5 years, he would have known that I would have never done that to him.
Yeah. Falynn, I remember when you came on Speak On It with Candy, you said that I don't know if you said it there, I forgot where, but you said that he was the one encouraging you and pushing you to the show, to do the show, and you didn't want to. So what was his excuse?
He said it on my channel in our interview. But go on.
Sorry. I'm like,
No, go on. I'm sorry to interrupt, Miriam. Go on.
But I remember you saying that. How did he, what was his PowerPoint to you? If he had a PowerPoint, what was he saying? How was he trying to convince you? What were the reasons he was giving you that would be good
to be on the show? He was just saying that I was spiritually ready. I was strong enough, to be on the show, and that I could really do this. I said no, like 1,000 times I said no. And he just kept pushing, which Simon doesn't usually do. If I say no, usually he'll let it go. But no, he kept pushing for me to be on the show. He's like, I think you can do it, spiritually. Like, I think that you can handle it. You've grown so much over the years. You do your lives on Instagram all the time. You have your own fan base. I don't see how, you can't handle it. I think you'll be great, yada, yada. And after a while, I actually asked the permission before I said yes. I asked for permission from his oldest son. If it would be okay, that I refer to him as my stepchild on the show, because we're so close in age. And once I received his blessing, at that point, I said, okay, we can do this. And through with it.
You know what it sounded like to me too? I was gonna say, it almost sounded like Simon was taking pointers from Kelsey Grammer, because that's the same thing that Camille went through with her situation. She didn't want to go to the Beverly Hills, and then Kelsey was cheating on her with the other woman, and then when they got on the show, he sort of made everything go crazy. So I think that that's pretty interesting that he would kind of do it like that. That's unbelievable.
A question on this point, because I have a lot of conspiracy theories. My theory was always that when he realized that you were not holding the peach, this is when he was trying to get Porsha. So, and Porsha was willing, of course. Maybe that was mutual. I don't know, because she saw something in him that's alleged, the same thing that he saw on her. That is alleged, because let's face it, now she's trying to stay on the show. And so do you think that played a part on him looking or going to Porsha?
How did you even get approached to be on the show? Did they call you, or did you reach out to them?
The casting agency had been reaching out to me for a couple of years. And then finally, by the time it approached again, at that point, Simon said, do it. And that's when I went through with it.
And Do you think there's any weight to Miriam's conspiracy theory that he couldn't believe his luck? It was like, okay,
Please say
he went from you to Porsha. Next week he's going to be with Holly Berry. Maybe the month after that, Beyonce. He is on
Oh, well.
the level up. Like, where? Like, do you think there's any truth to that, or do you? What do you think of that conspiracy theory?
I, like I said, and I've said it 1,000 times, I don't know who I was married to. So
Okay.
don't know.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. A couple of things also, right? With the children, his oldest son and daughter, you've met all his children, I'm assuming, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And the relationship that Simon had with your boys, from what you saw, do you think that was indicative of his parenting style?
Mm,
With his relationship with his other children?
I mean, Simon never really. Simon didn't have a mommy like I am to my children.
Mm.
You can't really expect certain people to be certain parents to their young if they've never had it. And I mean, as far as the older two, I don't know, because I was about, when he had them, I was like 4. So I don't know. But,
You were coloring in crayons,
yeah, I was
sniffing grape scented markers, like,
eating
cherry.
oatmeal and juice. I don't know. Can't speak on that.
But even
But
from what you saw with the grown-up children, do you see? Because I did notice, and again, this is just me playing photo assumption. You probably don't know, but at first Simon had his oldest son around, and then I guess all the children kind of just disappeared once filming was over. I don't even think his oldest son stuck around through filming, just a little bit. But by the end of it, and then Simon posted a weird post about certain family members need to understand that if they make him feel good, then he'll have them around more. And if they don't, then they just won't be around so often and hold them at a distance. And I was just like, narc shit all day. But like, what do you think of that? Could you comment on that situation?
I'm not sure of what situation you're referring to.
Just a situation with his oldest son with him. Not saying it's a situation, but I guess I'm just getting at like, I just, I know you're saying you don't know who you were married to, but while you were married to him, like, did he seem like a loving father to like all his children and very, very committed?
Seem like uh I think he did the best he could. Um
Mm.
I I'm a better parent. but,
Okay.
but I think he did the best he could.
Gotcha. I mean, and that's all we can do, right? And
Mhm.
that old saying, sometimes your best is just not good enough. But he did the best he could. Um,
correct.
what do you think about what do you think about what are your thoughts on actually returning to some type of reality TV, Real Housewives of Atlanta, or like what would you say to that if they came to you today and was like, listen, we're interested, come film a few scenes, maybe come back as a friend, maybe get a peach. What would be your reaction to that?
Mm, it would ooh, it would take a lot on their part. Um the pay would definitely have to be decent, and the you aren't really allowed to control the narrative on
Hmm.
that type of show. um which if I would want to control the narrative, because I would want to shed light on positivity and growth. you know at the same time, it could be a little messy every here and there, but I would really want to shed light on growth and healing, spiritual healing. And I know that I don't know how they would feel about that. But I mean, we would have to have a meeting. I would have to feel them out, honestly. I would have to use my intuition.
Mm,
Your
that
spider
makes
senses.
sense.
Yes.
Hmm.
That definitely makes sense. What do you think about? Well, I guess what can you glean on the fact of Simon being in Nigeria? You said you've never been to Nigeria and you don't really know many of his contacts over there.
No, Absolutely not. I mean, I know of his family. You know what? Who called him Simonisha?
Oh, wait a minute.
He said his mom is still living in slums. They
Come
got
and get up
rid
there. I'm
of
sorry. Oh.
that house that you guys have seen in Nigeria, his mother that she lives in, that was the house that he grew up in. And they've been there all these years. So that's probably why it looks like that.
Oh,
But
really?
yeah, that was his
Oh,
childhood.
wow.
But no, I haven't met the other side of the family. He's not very close to them as far as to my knowledge. What? So no, but
Yeah.
This is actually pretty good. So you've found peace. You would be open on different terms to coming back on reality TV in some way to share your story. If you could actually highlight positivity and control more of the narrative, or at least balance out the foolery with something that was actually a good representation of what you actually live and what your life is. That would be a beautiful thing. What about with Jalen with all this? How's he feeling with all this? Would he be open to coming on TV too, or?
oh yeah, for sure. Jalen is Jalen is a Scorpio. Okay, if there's one person I
Oh,
don't have to worry about, it's Jalen. he carries enough of the weight for all of us.
He looks good
okay.
too. So.
So when you said that you were looking for a protector, would you, Miriam, stop flirting with Fallon's man? Okay, no.
Oh, wait, hold up now. Hold up.
I'm joking, you guys. I'm joking. Listen,
I have to say, people good looking, I have to say.
okay, Fallon, you did good. You definitely made a come up in every department. But I see
Yeah.
what you're saying about him being a Scorpio. When you're saying you needed somebody to protect you, don't ever say that to a Scorpio. They're like, done. Say less.
Right.
Say less.
Yes.
That's beautiful, beautiful,
That's
beautiful.
wonderful.
That's beautiful. Okay, so you guys, we've had Fallon on for a while. Do we have any more questions? Or Fallon, also, a few people wanted to know about, have you thought about, we talked about this a little bit, but people are really into your art. Have you thought about doing an art exhibit? Are you doing art exhibits? I know you said you were gearing up to one. Have you identified one you're going to do? Are you going to post it online? I get a lot of people inboxing me about your art.
Actually, I was gonna say people to turn on their YouTube notifications if they're not subscribed to my channel. Go ahead and subscribe. But
Of course, y'all, Fallon
I'm
Pennant,
gonna
if you don't know, she is the best family channel out there. So adorable, so fun, and it's actually
That's
really genuine, and it looks super professional. So subscribe.
Thank
Yes.
you. Yeah, I'm going to start doing little pop-up YouTube lives where I go on and I paint live.
Oh, that's going to
But
be nice.
I'm
Put that
never
in my
going to
calendar.
announce it. I'm just gonna pop on, just do that. And at some point in time, I'll open up an exhibit.
That would be a beautiful, beautiful
And I
thing.
was going to say, will you open an exhibit in Atlanta or in a different state or something?
I was actually considering Miami, so
Oh, okay.
I'm still looking into it. I might just start out in Atlanta just because it's closer to home, and with the baby and everything, it probably makes more sense. And then once she's able to walk, then maybe we'll take it to Miami.
Okay. Or
Do
when
you
it's safe to go to Florida and not swarming all that, issues down there.
do you
Yeah,
see Atlanta as your long-term home, or is it you're taking every day as it goes?
I do. Atlanta is my home. I used to live in LA for 5 years. Didn't like it. Came back. I love it in Atlanta. That's where I'm from. Nobody could ever run me out of my city because I
Okay.
actually am from here. I just want to let that be known. But nah, I'm here to stay.
What about your
I love
skincare?
it.
My skincare line, I actually had to. That's in the works. I have to keep that on hush.
Okay.
On Hush, you still developing it, or?
Yes, I am.
Nice. Now, what we see after Karen with Real House of Potomac stealing candle ideas, yes, keep it on the
You
low
know what?
until it comes.
Oh my gosh.
No, keep it on the low. We're looking forward to the skincare. I'll be the first to buy some because your skin is actually flawless. So, what else are you feeling? I mean, listen, I do have a bunch of people are actually inboxing me, telling me, and this is just, listen, before you go, we're going to hold hands and have a prayer circle. But somebody said, I know this sounds crazy, but they said, please keep your child's name and date of birth until after she's born. I believe she's protected spiritually, but Simon is a dark soul. This is from one of my African subscribers. They know the culture. I don't know what Simon could be doing there, but yes, do everything you can to
Wow.
keep the dark clouds
Let me tell you
away.
something. Let me tell
Yes.
you something about Nigerians specifically. I don't know if
Mhm.
your subscriber is Nigerian, but
Cheers.
okay. Let me tell you about them. They know how to hold me down because they DM me up and down every single day with a new prayer. I mean, with all different types of tips and everything spiritually. Nigeria has been holding the Pina crew down, okay?
Come through
And
Nigeria. Come
I
through
love, yes,
Nigeria.
I love all
Lagos.
the
Like you
night,
guys keep.
yes, I love them all.
Yes, shout out to the Nigerian crew for holding the pinners down. You guys have been inboxing. You guys are actually super, super protective, super, super loving. But again, you guys recognize actually really beautiful people and beautiful souls, you know? So Fallon, listen, before you go, Miriam, Mel, everybody, come on, let's hold
Oh,
hands and
I'm here. Okay.
Hey.
Fallon, we thank you so much. I mean, there's so many. Do you want to stay on to answer questions, or I know that you were getting a little tired? Like, how are you feeling?
Oh no, I'm fine. I think I'm more so interested in answering everyone's questions. I know
Okay,
I'm
you guys. So Fallon is going to keep answering the questions. So let's keep them coming. Also, Miriam and Mel, if you guys want to look through the chat stream too, and kind of like, let's see some questions. Let's get some questions up here because I've been avoiding
Okay.
half of them. Let's
Let me
see.
see.
Oh my God, that's a bad one. Does Simon rent underwear and suits?
Okay.
That's
This.
a controversial question, okay? But
Okay.
we
Okay.
cut
Okay.
the shade. We cut the shade.
Okay, we'll wait for the shade. Okay, so hold on. Okay,
Did you
so
ask me?
Marion Virginia wants to know if Simon rents his underwear and suits.
the red. Oh, I'm sorry.
Where do y'all be thinking these countries? I told y'all not to embarrass me, and out the gate you did.
You know what?
Okay,
Y'all can leave
let's
that
get
man
some other ones.
alone.
Okay, I see one. ACE. Does Fallon have any ideas of friends she would like to see in Real Housewives of Atlanta?
Hmm. Any
That's
ideas
from,
of friends?
he
Any
said
friends
that.
that if you came on that you'd like to come on with you on Real Housewives of Atlanta?
Oh no, I don't have any friends.
Oh my
No
God.
new friends, huh?
Yes,
You
you
did
do.
a purge this
You have a lot
year.
here. You have a lot here.
You're
My
under
Okay.
that
friends,
Scorpio protection.
listen, yes, my friends is my man and my kids and my
Okay.
dogs. And we will definitely be on there. I'll take them
Oh.
Ooh,
all with me.
This
okay.
is a question, and it was this. I had this question when I saw his pictures. Does Simon wear a body shaper? And this is from the Red Lip.
You know what?
Oh my
I am not
gosh.
talking about man. No, no, he does
No, girl, he uses body tunes. Stop it. You
no.
know, you see that line, you see the whole thing behind him, just like X-Men. He's like Magneto, just pulling in everything around
No.
him.
I
Please,
told
that
you
is
he's
Facetune if I
blocked.
ever saw it.
I don't see nothing. I have not seen him in God knows how long. So I don't know.
You know, what's Simon's relationship with his actual culture?
His relationship with his culture.
With his culture. Yeah.
Simon is very proud of where he comes from.
Okay, that's good.
He's very proud
Mhm.
of it where he comes from. The people, not too sure about.
Wait,
Well,
what do you mean?
Well,
they,
he never really had many nice things to say about, I mean, his experiences with the people there. So I don't know. Like, all of this is a shock to me, honestly, for him to be so involved with. He loves his country, but I don't know. It's all new to me.
But he has things to say about actual Nigerian people, Nigerian culture, Nigerian ways. So you're
Um,
saying he'll tell someone, I'm Nigerian, but then he's like, ah, damn Nigerians.
yeah, pretty
Okay,
much.
there we go.
Falynn, how long did it take for you to get, the production of your Halloween costume? And how long did it take for you to take off that makeup?
Woo!
That wasn't.
Oh my gosh, let me tell you guys about that Halloween costume. Now, me and my makeup artist, we do it big like that every single year. And that costume took us about 5 hours, which didn't take as long as what it usually takes. Um, yeah, so yeah, it takes about 5 hours. That night, it took, you know what? That night I was so angry. I don't even remember. I think it took me about 30 minutes because I was so pissed. I probably scrubbed my skin off.
You had reason to be pissed. You had reason to be
Mm-hmm.
pissed. You know, somebody wants to know, Tila Palmer wants to know, did Simon force you to sign a prenup? I think you kind of answered this before. Did he force you to sign a prenup or did you just gladly go into it?
No. Simon definitely forced me to sign a prenup.
Describe force.
I mean, not like I said, Simon was a very charming person. It's not like he was like, you better sign this prenup or else we're never. No, it wasn't like that. It was done in a very tasteful, loving manner. You have to sign this prenup because it's to protect you, and
Yeah.
just things like that. Charming words. I signed it 2 days prior to us getting married.
Really? And you didn't try to get that contested for duress?
You know what? My
Hmm.
attorney advised me not to because oh, bless my attorney's heart, because he really liked Simon. And he
Oh,
felt,
Oh,
man.
yeah, he felt hurt in all of this as well. I really feel badly for the people who were involved, in our divorce more than anything.
mm,
But yeah, no, he advised me not to go up against a legal fight against Simon, although I would have never. It was just a conversation that we had. I would
mm,
have never, because I don't want, and nor have I ever wanted Simon's money. If that's the case, I would have contested the prenup and kept it
true.
going. We would have gotten married on a different day. You know,
Mm,
I didn't care for whatever the prenup said. Um, I just wanted everything to be over. When I was done, I was done. I
mm.
was I was Angela Bassett and Waiting to Exhale. Okay, I was done.
Mm-hmm.
I
And I was going to say even Angela Bassett and what's love got to do with it when she said, "I just want my name. Let me leave this court." That was it.
That's all. Yep, that is all I wanted. All I asked for was my name. That's funny that you say that.
No,
All I asked for was my name.
well,
Yeah.
you
Everything else I got,
definitely,
it's just in contract. I already got it, but I didn't ask for anything more. I didn't ask for anything less.
Mm-hmm.
But you and
Sometimes I,
more.
I was going to say sometimes the ladies on all the franchises, they said that sometimes the producers can either be nice to them or not so nice, and sometimes they may become friends with them, and friendships happen even when they're not on the show. Are you still in contact with anybody at Bravo? And did any of the producers that you worked with, did they become friends of yours, and do you still
Yes.
talk to them?
Yes, I was friends with one of them. Um, However, when everything hit the media, I didn't know who to trust. I didn't know who used me, to get that storyline done. I didn't know. So I blocked everyone.
Oh, okay.
mm,
Okay, that's
everyone.
good. Okay.
So somebody, I had two questions here. One person wants to know if I can find the question. Did Simon ever explain to you why he never really went back to Africa that much? Or even back to Nigeria? I mean, I know he went to Rwanda. And there's a second question. If this is too personal, you can leave it out. But it's like, they want to know how much money, how much access did you have to this money and spending? Simon did go on live saying that you had your own money. Did you have access to your own money and funds, or did he say that to paint a picture of her being of like you just being like financially stable?
He
We
said
know
that.
you. Listen, it's not up for debate whether Fallon said broke bum. We're not saying that, but we are talking about as far as how much he actually let you into his world of assets.
Yeah. No, Simon said that to make himself not look badly in the media about how badly he was leaving me and the boys out there. When he filed for the divorce and I said, my final straw was done. I'm not coming back to you. I'm done. This is over. We're moving on. I kept everything cordial, like we said. Like I said, we were keeping everything copacetic, or that was the plan, and so everybody was supposed to go their ways happily. But when I think once he realized I wasn't coming back,
Mm.
he we pretty much I pretty much had to our therapist had to get involved and beg him to get me and my children a home, because my credit, I've said this before, my credit was not the best. I couldn't get a home. He said I had to be out of the house in 3 weeks, and I didn't have a way. So
Hmm.
and so the therapist got involved, and she's like, you can't just leave them out there, you know. So eventually he ended up getting us a place, and it was just a little townhouse, and I stayed there for 2 months, and then I left because I
Wow.
I felt like his presence was attached to it. I know that sounds weird, but I felt it felt so negative in there, so I left.
So that so speak that's actually so crazy, but I understand the way it's like everything reminds you of a situation that you just want to get away from. But when you talk about the house when you left, I know that your prior house you guys had sold, did you guys get money? Well, did you get your money from that house sale yet? And if you haven't, are you going to legally pursue, or you're just done with everything? You're just walking away cold turkey?
I don't get anything from that house. I don't
Not
know.
the last one, but the original house that you guys kind of from the
Oh,
sale that he put.
mhm. Yeah, I already received my check for
Okay,
that.
good. Okay, good, 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 good. So, what made you out the blue where the divorce was? There was a court date in November, and then out the blue, you guys low key got divorced. You almost snuck it by me, but I was able to find it. Right, low key, you guys just actually got divorced. What made you just be like, you know what? Forget it. I'm not even waiting till November. Let's just sign this and let's just get it over with.
Um, I remember that day. I was my attorney called me. They said, when can I come in to sign it? And I was on my way. I got in my Bentley. I put on my cute dress, one of the most beautiful dresses that I own. I put it on. I did my makeup and my hair, and I jumped in my Bentley and put the top down, drove to my attorney's office, and
Wow.
played their papers on repeat.
Really?
And yeah, I was ready to
You
sign.
were ready. This was your Independence Day. You weren't kidding when you said you're Angela Bassett. When you were so ready, I know that you don't like to go back to that time, and you don't have to. And I know you blocked a lot of people, but the one thing that always struck me as before I knew anything about this drama, the one thing that always struck me as odd was, remember when Latoya was being so, so, so disrespectful to you, right? How
Yeah.
do you think Latoya seemed to know so much about what's going on in your marriage? Again, when she first did it, I was just like, why is she hating? Like, this is just ridiculous, like, whatever. But there were just certain things that she just hit too close to home. How do you think she knew so much? Or was she just taking lucky guesses?
Oh shit, you're right. I mean that. I never thought about it till you just said something.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, wow. Yeah.
No, I just always thought that Latoya, you guys obviously were never cool enough for you to share anything
Yeah.
of your life with her. So we always thought, well, by we, I mean me and Miriam. Yes, I'm
Yeah.
pulling you into this. We always thought that maybe it was coming from
I mean, but
Porsha.
Simon at that time, you also have to remember he did delete all of our pictures off of Instagram. And I didn't even notice, I didn't even know anything. And Simon wanted so badly the world to know that he were single that before we even decided really to break up, he deleted all of my pictures off of Instagram. We weren't even separated yet. So that could also be it.
That I mean, okay, that's actually a thing. The pictures were being deleted. We saw it 5 months later, but she's seeing them real time. Pictures are
Mm.
being deleted. I'm sure it's not now. Okay, that one makes sense
Yeah.
actually. She just
Friends with Porsha too. So I feel like there were talks, like, because when someone is new on the show, sometimes they make alliances. And Latoya, she was shady. She was like twerking over the fence between Kenya and Porsha. And even Porsha gave her the side eye because she felt like, oh, if you're doing that and we're not still that cool about Kenya, so do you do the same about me to her? So, but then again, she was trying to catch the vibe, and she wanted to be friends with everybody, which backfired her. But I feel
yeah, I
like she
think Latoya might have been the attack dog in that situation. Fallon's being generous and zen. I think Portia would, because the thing is, you mentioned that Simon, when you got, and again, I get it. All couples have pillow talk, right? Me and my man sit around and be like, oh my God, did you hear this? Did you hear that? You know what I'm saying? So it's like every couple has pillow talk. I get that. But you mentioned that he was like really, really messy, not just toward the person that we all are thinking of, but toward, like, he was like a housewife historian. He was very, very deep in that, right? Do you think that like Simon was a gossiper? He liked to talk. I mean, I'm just looking at possible ways that like all this information got out.
Simon loves to gossip. Yeah. I mean, Simon and I being on the show together, he would have definitely stolen the spotlight from me. 'Cause-
But do you think that Simon, I know you say that he can turn it on individually, but do you think he's actually that clever and quick-witted? I mean, I've seen no signs of it, but I'll take it from you. You've known him long.
Oh no! As far as him being witty, no, no,
Okay.
he's not very witty. Um,
we
no,
know
but
that.
The
he knows how
Instagram
to.
post was the first thing. I was like, where's that
Yes,
Claire?
yeah, no, but he knows how to keep up with some gossip. Okay, he can keep up
Okay,
with
got you,
gossip. I'll
got you, got
forget.
you.
I'll forget the gossip tomorrow, but he will keep
Exactly.
it
He'll be like, so
forever.
remember that thing we were talking about 3 weeks ago? What? And you're just like, what are you talking about?
What? Right?
He wanted to hold the peach, but he
Yeah.
ended up with the juice.
Oh.
He definitely wanted to hold a peach. Are you excited for the show coming out, the family show? Do you miss your life with Simon? But then never really had you in the Howard Johnson pool area. So I don't know. Maybe it's a different life. Simon is downscaling his life now. He doesn't need to put on airs, and he's in the Howard Johnson pool. So it's fine, right? Listen, when you guys used to go to Costa Rica, or when you guys went to anywhere, when you guys went over there, did Simon ever travel overseas by himself, or were you guys always as a family?
Well, we are always as a family until those 2 months that he didn't come home.
Wow. Wow. And that's when everything started to crumble. So I see why, if you guys were always doing stuff with a family, he was in there, you were committed to your relationship. I mean, honestly, Fallon, I don't want to insult you, but to me, it sounds like there was a lot of mental abuse going on. Oh, this is a good one. T. Cohen wants to know, how come you didn't rock moo.
Oh, because I don't. I mean, I wasn't asked to. One and two, I don't fake it, if I truly feel like I'm a part and I'm welcomed in that culture by their people, I'm gonna make sure that I get it straight from them. I'm gonna be blessed by them to do so. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going to just show up in somebody's country wearing their, their clothes and then say, "Hello, my people."
Right.
I don't,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't, I don't believe, I
Yeah,
don't
she
believe
probably was pulling her best Whitney Houston at that moment. Go and say, "My land, my
I'm
land."
not saying that that's what she's doing. I'm just saying it was never approached to me to do that. Now, had,
Mm.
there been Nigerian women and said, "Falynn, please rock this," best believe I would have been the first rocking the
Yes.
best. But
Yes.
yeah, no, I'm not just gonna throw anything on and then next thing you know, I'm wearing house coats because I don't know what I'm
Exactly.
doing.
You're not going to buy an Alibaba Kente cloth two-piece to rock
Oh Lord, come
on your
on,
visit
come
home.
on now.
I'm just saying.
I would want to
But
make sure that I'm doing it right.
but
I don't want to just.
Fallon has a point. That's like us going over to Thailand and just showing up dressed like the traditional culture, but in a very like you're not even doing it right. Like,
You
hello,
really,
everyone.
Yes,
You
that's right.
know?
yes.
It's not.
I would feel disrespected if
Yeah, it
Yes.
someone
sounds like.
wore, like a tie dress and it's like not a tie dress. It's
That's
something
right.
Yes.
that we wear
It's,
to clean
And I'm
or
coming off the
whatever.
plane like, namaste. And you'd be like, girl, if you
I'm
don't
like,
get out of
what?
here.
It would be disrespectful, honestly, in another
Yes.
culture. So, yeah, no.
That's a good point. I never looked at it like that, but that's a good point. It's like this is Nigerian culture. Nigerian is known for beautiful clothes, beautiful culture, but even the quality of the fabrics, right? And it is very insulting that you step off, you're doing head wraps, you're doing whatever, but it's almost like you're donning a costume playing dress up. You're not even
yeah,
taking the time. Like you said, you would get someone to help you, to dress you, to hook up the head wrap, to make sure you're doing it right in a respectful way. That respects your
Yeah.
style,
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Fallon, did Simon ever try to or commented on your looks and your body? Because we've been,
What can he say?
well, she's perfect, but then again, being the narc that he was, like emotionally, we know what he was trying to, make her believe that this is as good as it gets. This is as good as she's gonna get. So, did he ever like comment on your body, which you're amazing, but like I'm just curious because we see that Porsha is like already like she has a storyline that she's gonna go through a makeover maybe, and a health journey. So I wonder, did he ever
I
try to?
mean, you can't really compare um one mate to another mate. You
Mm.
know, I went from Simon to Jalen.
Oh, yeah, you upgraded, girl. You
come
did.
on now. Yes, you did.
You know, so
Everybody.
maybe. I mean, did he ever tell me to cover up? No, he told me to show off. But uh, no, to each his own. Maybe he likes that now. I don't know. I love young ones now, so shit.
Okay. Well, I mean, we got that. Let me, you know what,
Mike,
when you guys came on live a while back, you literally talked about, packages that were being sent and also that thing that Jalen posted. Again, people are like, I remember people were trying to clown y'all being like, oh, you made up that fake account, except for the fact, oh, even on my YouTube channel, when I did the expose, it wasn't about you, but I had that same account harassing me. And there was one other account, I literally had to block them because but it was the same thing, the same word structure, the same everything. What's going on right now with these fake accounts? Because I could even see another conspiracy would be Latoya and all these people that are coming out saying things are being fed from anonymous accounts, right? I'm sure you get stuff fed to you all the time. Are you guys still having that problem with anonymous accounts that are very sympathetic to Simon, and putting their 2 cents in, or how's that going?
Honestly, I I receive a lot of love. I don't really I don't
Nice.
really anymore. I don't receive many hate DMs. However, I love my block button. So I might have just blocked them. But I might have just did a really good job with blocking. But outside of that, I don't really receive DMs anymore. If anything, it's more so, let me know if you want me to beat Portia's ass. I can't tell you how many times, and y'all have to stop with that. That is not the answer, and that is not okay. They need to stop.
Remember Drita from Mob Wives? Violence isn't the answer. But sometimes it is. No, I'm joking.
Oh, well.
It's not good. No,
No, it's not good. It's not good. It's not good.
Not good.
Well, you know what? This is a little hint for everyone. You've already figured out, Fallon. If you guys are having trouble with hate comments, the way to tell if they are paid trolls, you block them, because every time you block them, it costs the person that paid for them money for them to recreate a new account. You can literally burn through their budget in only a few days of just being like block, 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 block. And if they are actually paid trolls, that's when how Fallon saw, then the love comes in. Now, if they're real human beings, it just keeps getting amped up. But that's a way to get paid trolls off your page, because it becomes a waste of money and super expensive. Just a little hint, but go on.
Oh, interesting.
Let's see. Oh wait, there's another thing, right? When you remember the St. Regis thing, right?
Yeah.
When you said, it was a little unclear, I think I understood it, but when you and Simon first started dating and you were based in LA, when you would come out to visit him, he would put you up at the St. Regis, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. We just needed confirmation on that. Did Simon ever hang out at the St. Regis after you guys were married or together?
Those are his stomping grounds. Absolutely.
The wife would know. The wife would know. And also, Fallon, let's get a little bit messy just for everyone, just to clarify, right? Simon's finances, right? What do you think of them? Go. What do you think of them?
That was a loaded question.
That was loaded than a You know what?
Okay, I'll roll it back. Y'all supposed to have my back, Miriam and Mel. Damn it.
No, I'll say this.
You got me.
No, wait, hold on. Let Fallon talk about Simon's thing. You'll say what?
I'll say this. I've never seen them. You know how usually you'll see something, you'll see like, I don't know, maybe some mail from the bank accounts, Wells Fargo or something. You'll see something up on the computer screen or something.
Yes.
I've seen programs that he uses, that he creates, as a quote business owner. I've never seen his finances.
Wow.
Huh.
Yeah,
Over
but that's
5 years, you never caught a glimpse of them.
No.
Wow.
Listen, me 13 years, I never caught a glimpse of them either.
You did not.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it happens when you're in a marriage and you're in it. And hard to see, and when on purpose they keep it away from you, it's really like you need it.
I mean, I'll be honest with y'all. I've never been in seeing my boyfriend's finances. But if I was the wife, I'd be like, so what's this going on? So how did you guys get to the point where like you never just saw them? Was it just out of convenience? He always married them. And Fallon answered, did they always just have like a debit card or a credit card with you? Like, how did you guys live then if you didn't have access to the money?
Everything that he gave me was transferred to me.
Yeah.
And to my accounts in my name directly. It wasn't anything else. No, I never saw it.
No, I had the credit card, but anytime if I wanted to buy something that I saw in Bed Bath & Beyond, I would have to kind of run by him.
Really?
And, yes. And when we first met, he said that, he sucks in finances because I worked in banking in Lebanon. So he said, you're going to take over. You're going to help me, this and that. And every time I tried, he always kept me out for some reason. And, I used to, ironically, when in the Middle East, I had jobs. I was active alumni of my college. But when I came to the United States, I became a housewife. So talk about the irony of life. So for 13 years, I was out of the workforce. And, Then little by little, I started like making my way, and he was making it harder. Even when I tried to get a part-time job, like he wouldn't help me with the kids at all, not at home. And when I come home, it's like I just got home and dinner should have been at the table. So it looks crazy. It sounds crazy because it is. I don't blame people, but when you are in a relationship like that, you are like, it's a rabbit hole, and it's hard to get out
Wow.
when nobody's helping you. So, yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. But I can see how it'd be so easy for it to happen too. Because you're right, to both of you, I say if you trust somebody, what you know, like at what point does it turn into snooping? You know? It's like, have you ever looked through someone's phone? Well, no, if I trust you, why would I be going through your phone? It's almost a waste of time on my end. So I see what you're saying, but so he would transfer everything to your name. What about the cars that he got you? Right? There was the Bentley, and Bronco, whatever the Bronco,
Brock.
the Jeep,
Brock.
Brock. There we go, Brock. There we go. There we go. So the cars and stuff, like, were the cars bought as like when you were fed up and you were leaving, or was he just uber generous with you? Because I find it odd. It looks like he was super generous with you, or maybe you caught him when he was on his wave, right? Of money that he received. Because I don't know, I find it odd that he's not buying gifts to everybody else like that. Because he seemed like he was super generous with you.
Yep, he was. And he never has been that generous with anyone. I could tell the way he talks about the other women, the way the ones in the past hated me so much. But yeah, I will say I was spoiled financially. My cars, I was spoiled. At least spoiled to me. It might not have been spoiled to somebody else, but I was spoiled to
No,
me.
it was spoiled. It goes along with what everyone's been saying in Farmers about Simon's thing. It's like he got around the time that he met you, he got a lump sum of money. And he was using it to live out his fantasy. He had the perfect woman, you know, he could finally be the person tossing it up in the clubs, dropping money for weekends. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like living fantasy. And the Real Housewives became, I don't know, maybe it was a way to keep that fantasy going, you know, maybe.
I have no idea. But one thing I never really cared for the bags or the clothes or anything, but everybody's like, oh, but you were taking pictures and the stuff and all this, whatever. I never said I didn't like my cars. That's one thing that I love were my cars. He's bought me about 5 cars in total. And I mean, they're all in my name. I own them all. So,
Ooh, let's name the cars.
well,
Yes.
I had let's start. Well, first it was Brock, my Jeep that I put so much work into. I bought that like it was just factory based, and I did a whole bunch of work to him. And then it was an Lexus, an LC 500. I like sports. And then I had my Benz. I was actually the first person to ever purchase it. Oh my gosh, I love that one, but I had to get rid of it because everybody started buying it, and then I was like, I don't like it anymore.
Okay.
What was the babe? What was that? What was that? What was that? Benz that I had that I loved so much, and now I could care less. I forget. Huh? What? He's annoying. Anyway, so, and then there was actually what you guys didn't know, that one was a guilt. He was trying to get me back with the, no, I'm sorry, with the Lexus. He was trying to get me back. I sold it. I took it.
Oh, wow. Listen, like Lily said, smart to make sure that they were all in your name too, right?
Yep. And then the Bentley, and then, yeah. And no, everyone keeps asking that. No, he did not take my Bentley back. I own it.
Because it was in your name, correct? That's a Taurus queen. Take notes, ladies. Even in the middle of hell, they're just like, wait a second, is my name on it? just, like even in the middle of hell, your earth sensibilities come out. We're like, wait a second, what actually is going on? So good for you for making, you foresaw this. You were like, listen, yeah, I know it's all the same, but put my name on it. I know it's all the same, but come on,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, of course.
That is what's up. And it's good. It's a good investment. Y'all out there buying bags and stuff. Falynn is like, do you know what really appreciates in value? Cars.
I told
Your
my son that
Birkin's
you can't
cute,
bring
but
me
you
no
know what I
back.
can really get some quick money from? Cars.
Right. Thank
Hey,
you
You
very
did it.
much.
You did it. Yes, throwing napkins in the club. And Falynn is getting her car collection ready just for a rainy day. But we see that you still have them. So it's
Yeah.
good, but you know where it was a great investment. Also, you guys, real quick, not to interrupt, Mel has a really important meeting tomorrow. So he just wanted to say bye to Falynn. Sorry to interrupt. Go on, Mel.
No, I just want to say this is, you know what, I hate to leave. I love this conversation, I really do. And I just thank Falynn again for showing up. And I just feel, strongly that this upcoming months and year is going to be even brighter and better for her and her family. And just thank you for sharing, and just want to send blessings to everybody and have a wonderful night. I'm gonna sort of type some things here in my apartment, but yeah, just sending good vibes, and thank you again for showing up and just
Mel, thank you so
being
much for
brave.
joining us. You
Yeah.
always offer so much to the conversation. And thank you so much for everything. We appreciate you, Mel. And we're waiting for you to start your YouTube channel, okay?
I'm work.
But
You
when
know
you're
what?
ready, when you're ready, okay?
Yes, thank you. Blessings. Have a good night, you all. Thank you.
Good
you
night.
Oh,
too.
thank you so much. And Fallon, thank you so much for being with us. Any more questions for Fallon? Fallon, how are you feeling?
I feel great. I'm glad that I was able to jump on this call with you guys and turn my night into kind of a uplifting yet gossip session.
That's how we do it on this
like
channel,
a
uplifting
like
gossip.
a late
We're
night
the
gossip.
messiest little rays of sunshine you're ever going to meet. So,
I'm feeling good. So long as like I said, so long as I can share my story and it uplifts somebody, you never know
You
who you're helping by just
you did
opening up. So
you did.
definitely, Fallon.
No doubt you did. Like you showed up and showed out, and that was like a great surprise. Like, thank you for sharing. You were really honest, and you're gonna shut a lot of people up after tonight.
We will. Last messy question. I'm going to say we're going to play word association. Okay? Ready? Simcoe Petroleum. What's the first thing that comes to your mind?
You showed so
Trucking
shady.
company. What's the first thing that comes into your mind? Simcoe
that
lifestyle.
woo, that is a whole other conversation.
Oh God.
So you heard it here first. I said word association. I said Simcoe. What's the first thing that comes up? She said nothing. And there you have it, folks. Trucking company. First thing, nothing. Smoke and mirror. And there you have it. The fact that for 5 years, she's like, Simcoe. We'll have a different conversation for that. But you guys, you heard it first with the word association.
Oh,
Nothing. Fallon, thank you so much for joining us. You guys, if you guys are watching the replay, I am going to chop this interview up and repost it. I know it's a 3-hour interview, but you know what? I actually want Fallon's sound bites to get out when she's actually dispelling all the rumors that are going around about everything. So for everybody watching this on replay, don't worry. We're going to chop this up into small
is the
bites
baby
that we can repost.
is the baby kicking a lot? That's my girl.
Oh my gosh, is she?
Is she? She's feisty already, huh? Wow. This is amazing that you're having
Oh
another
yeah,
baby.
she's definitely like her dad.
Is she really? Is she the most
Oh
feisty
yeah, I
baby you've
know.
had thus far? Oh, really?
No,
She's
Liam
just gonna be.
Liam was hell. No, she's actually very she's calm, cool, and collected. So I'm turning up, you know, out like turning up meaning like I leave the house. That's me turning up these days. I leave the house and go to the mall or something, and I'm walking around, and she loves that. That's when she's like boom 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 boom, or I'm playing music. She loves music. But outside of
Oh,
that, she's calm.
I'm so happy to hear that. Don't tell us, but have you guys decided on the name yet? Or are you going to wait until she comes?
We have a name. I'll wait until she comes.
Oh, this is going to be so beautiful. Thank you for letting us experience this journey with you and keeping it positive. You know, it's like, I don't know. There's so many things of love, young love, black love, whatever you want to call it, but even young love. It's nice that you guys are actually sticking together, doing the damn thing, showing what a loving, beautiful, supporting family means. You know, it doesn't matter the way families form. I mean, to a certain point it does, but I'm glad, right? But listen, I do have to say though, Fallon, please, just this is on my head. I can't rest without it, right? So I'm doing a little expose, right? The trucking company. Really quick before you go, just a little bit of mess for those that actually stay. Nobody left the chat, but we're still here. The trucking company that Simon keeps posting up, right? What is the origins of that trucking company? Because why it's been under Simon's name, you probably don't know because you're not messy, but that's why you have me because I am messy. The trucking company hasn't done anything. What are the origins of that trucking company? Do you ever remember him expressing any interest in a trucking company?
Yeah, I mean, I was the one who exposed him, I guess you could say. So I wanted to own a trucking company. My sister and I, it was like a childhood dream of ours. I actually wanted to be a garbage man. That's how it started.
Oh,
When I was a little girl, I wanted to be a garbage man. I was a little girl, and I was like, "Mom, they have great benefits." I was weird. I was a weird child. I always
as a
thought I
little
was
girl,
a dude.
mom, the
As
benefits,
a little
amazing.
girl, I was like 8. I always thought I was a dude. I was like, if a guy could do it, I could do it, you know? And so she would always laugh me off. But as my sister and I grew, it turned into we wanted to start our own trucking company. And I met Simon. I came to him with this idea, and he said, "You know what? Listen, if you want to start a trucking company, why don't you start doing it for me?" And he was like, "You can move my petroleum for me."
Mhm.
And I was like, so wait, not shipping goods, but logistics for petroleum. I mean, I never even graduated high school. You know, I was a teen mom. So I was to be able to do this, have this opportunity, I'm taking it. I'm a Taurus. Hell yeah. You know, and of
Yeah.
course it's with my man. You know, he could provide the oil, he can get me into the business. It was just beautiful. Um okay. And so it it started out as TDL.
Okay.
My company's petroleum logistics company was TDL. What does that stand for? Troy, Dylan, Liam. TDL,
Oh.
petroleum logistics, right?
Okay.
And Simon and I ended up during that breakup. Now, I've never seen the oil be transported or anything. We hired, now mind you, Simon is the one who knows all of the game, right? So he's the one who did a lot of the back work for me that I didn't know about yet until I learned how to do it on my own. So
Okay.
I saw it because it never lasted that long. So Simon took that, and when we broke up for those 9 months, I don't know what happened. All of my trucks, the trucks were gone. He had taken them, and he had then begun KLC. I don't even know what that stands for. I think he just was copying off of me making TDL.
Yeah.
But he opened up KLC Petroleum Logistics. And when we got back together, he didn't even tell me that he had done that. I had to find out from him taking a phone call, and I'm like, wait, what's KLC? Oh, I started my own trucking company. And I'm like, wait, with the trucks that I had? everything was in my name.
Yeah.
So he ended up
And
taking
that was it. But so when you had the TDL, how much, you said you never really saw the oil, you didn't see the logistics. So
all.
was there just money in your account each
Yep.
month?
Yep.
That's
Each
it, huh?
each week, because all of the pay came from, he was my only supplier. So all of the money came from him.
And how many trucks did you guys have?
Well, I had 3, but
Hmm.
I don't know.
Did you ever see them getting filled up or moved around or like,
No.
no, right? And you
Mm,
were just
mm.
getting
No,
money
because
transfers every week.
because I thought that, he was just handling everything. I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
It's petroleum. Like, what? I didn't know. I just thought he was going to teach me. And actually my sister was livid because he wasn't teaching me anything. She like cursed him out, but she's like, how is it that you can have all of this going for her, but you're not showing her anything? And
That
so,
might have been a blessing.
right. And so then boom, he took it all, and I never made an ordeal of it. I one time in therapy, the only thing I wanted from him when I brought it up in therapy, because I did the thing, I did the thing where I was just quiet and I was like, oh, it's okay. And then it was really festering inside.
Mhm.
So when I came out in therapy, I was like, and then you stole, and I was like, you never. And I told him, I said, listen, I don't want anything from you. All I want is a thank you. Acknowledge me as a wife, that I started something for you that you were able to bite off of, or something that inspired you to start your own anything. Just give me the
Mhm.
acknowledgement. And I'll never forget it. He looked at me and he laughed and he said, thank you for what? And I
Oh,
said, yeah,
wow.
I'm done.
Yes, you are.
Wow.
Yes, you are.
So that was the petroleum company, and then the other stuff. I mean, I guess you weren't ever really involved in it, but that's where the trucks came from. And we saw, right? We saw. Well, I know from the business documents that thing didn't ever. Uh, yeah. Well, did
Yeah.
you change your life insurance at all?
Oh yeah,
And
no, I
Simon
mean,
seems so
everything
involved
has,
in your life. Did you get a new social security number yet? Like
I'm
literally
telling
just break free? There might
yeah,
be like companies in Costa Rica in your name?
yeah. Yeah, no, nothing's in my name anymore. It's all off. The
Okay,
company
good.
the trucks from, they know that I have no parts in the trucks anymore. So yeah.
And no parts even in the business formation or anything like that. What year did he actually do the TDL?
TDL was in 2017.
Okay. Okay, so that was just like you said, it was super early before you guys got married, and
Oh,
then he just took it over.
oh
Wow.
yeah.
And for any of the other companies, did you ever see anything, anyone, Simcoe Lifestyle? I don't know. Did you guys have couches from Simcoe Lifestyle? Did you see anything in Simcoe Media? You know?
My understanding, Simcoe Lifestyle was a furniture store that he tried to do once upon a time, and it didn't really get anywhere. That was, I believe, that's what that was.
Okay.
But yeah, no, yeah, no.
Thank you so much. I agree. Derby Diva, I know you don't want your platform to go, but start telling these stories on your platform, story time, blind idols.
No,
People will be like, yeah, let's keep this away. We'll keep the messiness on my
no,
channel.
I will
Sounds
not.
like,
I will not.
yes.
We'll be messy.
My platform is for my positivity and my family, my children, and how we work as a normal household. It is not for this stuff and people from my past. Now, however, you'll hear me mention my past every here and there,
Of
because like I
course.
said, I always feel like there's clarity and healing powers within talking about the past.
Yeah.
um yeah. But yeah, no, as far as going this detailed into my past, I don't care to get paid for it. I
No,
care to help people with it.
I I definitely see in that. This is the very last question, I swear, right? Um, so remember when Simon made that post that said this is the first workaholic relationship he's ever been in? This is from Gloria. And she makes a good point. It says, it sounds like you were doing a lot. What did, like, where was that comment coming from? Because it sounds like you were doing a lot. It's just the fact he just, to me, it sounds like he kept clipping your wings every single time you were about to fly, you know?
Yeah, I wasn't allowed. I mean, guys, hold on. I can go down the whole list of the ideas and things that I put. Oh my gosh, all the businesses I wanted to do. There was a spa.
Mm.
We went as far as hiring a commercial real estate agent to find. I mean, we went and looked at so many different places, and by the time I finally found one, Simon says, "No, you can't. If you do that, then you won't be there for the family. You know, you have to come to work every single day, and I don't know if you should do that." So then there was a food truck. No, once again, same story. Then there was my art gallery. No, you can't do that because yada yada. I mean, then there was TDL, and there was so many different things I wanted to do to make my own money. I've always wanted to work. But I wasn't allowed to. And then of
Yeah.
course, like I say, at that time, you don't know you're in it. You know, you don't know you're in love and you're like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You know, then it got to a point at the very end, I actually threatened him. I said, you actually, when we were in the middle of therapy, actually, I said, I need to work so that I can have my own money and it doesn't come from you. And so that you're not controlling me and my finances. So if I have to go work at Starbucks, that is what I will do. And the therapist is like, she starts laughing and she's like, Falynn, you can't work at Starbucks. Look at the type of life that you live. La, la, la. And I said, I don't give a damn. I will work at Starbucks. I will work anywhere. And I'll probably get free coffee.
Yeah,
I
right?
love coffee because I love Starbucks. But I was like, listen, I don't care. I need something. And he goes, if you get a job, that's fine. But you better understand that me and the boys are going to leave you. We're going to go on trips and we're going to leave the country. We're going to do whatever we want. And you don't get to go. You will have to stay here and work. And I said, I don't care. And that was like the end of him. I think he was just, embarrassed.
Mad that you were working. So it's weird that he's bragging about this one being a workaholic when he was literally doing everything he could to keep you under his heel in the house. You guys, just for everybody that's joining us, Falynn has joined us. She has spilled all. I goes without saying, do not forget to go to Falynn's channel, like, comment, subscribe, do all that. We are definitely going to start supporting her channel as well, reposting stuff. Don't give me a copyright claim, but reposting stuff for you guys to actually see. And also, this video has been a doozy, but you guys, tomorrow I'm going to spend all day and night chopping it up. So let's see, Miriam, how are you feeling, girl?
Oh my God, what a treat. I'm drunk on Falynn's words today. Everything that she's told us, and this was a treat, and like so generous of you to share your platform with us, Tisa. Like I really like that. That says a lot about you, and I don't want it to be left unsaid because almost no YouTuber would do what you did tonight. So thank you.
Oh, but still. And you guys hang in there really quick. Falynn isn't going anywhere just yet. A couple surprises you wanted to share with us, Falynn?
Ooh, okay.
Oh, I do. What am I sharing?
So one of my sources, okay, so listen, I know this is last but not least, I'm dropping this all over after I've worn you down, right? So some of my sources said that, right, at the beginning of everything, Simon actually threatened Jalen.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to tell us about that, or do you want me to tell you what I know and you can confirm or deny?
Yeah, no, he definitely did. This was actually when, oh, poor Jalen. Bless his heart. He's been through so much.
I heard that he
This was,
threatened him with trespassing charges and all this crazy shit, even though there
he
was
was working for me.
exactly like at the end of the day, it seems like he just throws out legal threats. But tell us about like how that came about.
Yeah, Jalen, he was working for me at that time, and this was when Simon had left me and the children for 2 months.
Mhm.
And we had a breach in the gate in the home, and these two guys were trying to get onto the property or trying to see if anybody was home. It was really scary stuff. So I had everybody come that I could call my family, and everybody who could come, but um turns to stay with
Mhm.
me and the children um to provide
Yeah, you
safety.
talked about that where Jalen was there, but there was also family there too that was
Right,
watching over
right.
you.
So
Yeah.
then after that, right. So then after that, Simon saw him on coming to and from work like he always did every single morning, every day, or even on the cameras, the pictures of Jalen on the cameras inside of the truck is actually Simon's truck, and he has LoJack on it. So he knows that that's the work truck that we would use for the family. So he knows for a fact that that was Jalen going to and from to work.
Yeah.
And so then then after that, he started threatening Jalen and saying, like, stay away from my family. It's almost like he wanted me to be isolated. Like he wanted me
Sounds
to,
like it.
because there was no reason to threaten Jalen, and his family. He called his mom, threatened his mom, threatened him, and was just like, I don't know. He was just
He threatened
throwing,
to Jalen's mom. What did he say to Jalen's
yeah.
mom?
Um, he threatened her like, if you don't get your child, I'm gonna have him put in jail type of threat. To a mama, that's like threatening
What?
them. Yeah. And Jalen's like, well,
Did Jalen's mom ever even meet Simon?
yeah. Most
Okay,
likely.
okay, okay.
Yeah. But then so yeah, he threatened her, and Jalen's asking him, he's like, and he texted him back. This was all via text, so we have everything. And he was like, you need to stay away from my family and things like that. And he's like, you left and I have a job to do. Like, he's like, I'm working. Like, what do she needs me now more than ever. You're not here. So what do you want me to, how am I supposed to work? And he's just like, I don't care. You could work remotely and just, do other stuff, for me remotely. So,
But the funny thing is, from those things, I know it's late. We're gonna wrap it up soon. But the funny thing from those correspondence, third parties have told me if people actually saw the correspondence or even heard it, because it was all said, it was a big talk about stuff. It shows that Simon never really thought that you and Jalen were messing around, because even the way he refers to you guys, right? It's very derogatory. It's very this is that, but there's no hint of, oh, you better stop it. And I know you're doing this and I know you're that, which kind of confirms the fact that like he didn't even think you guys were together. The timeline of when everything happened. Not that the timeline matters to be literally set out, but from the messages and the people that were involved, it seems like he even knew that there was nothing there. In a weird way, he actually pushed you guys together, you know? Do you think that Simon was having a mental breakdown when he was literally threatening you guys with all this? Or what do you think of Simon's mental health?
mm, I'm not exactly sure, because my whole thing was, and we all asked him, me, Jalen, my best friend, my uncle, who never says but two words, my mother, why is it, if you have such a big problem, with what's going on, why is it that you just won't come home? You
Hmm.
need to come home. As somebody was always in his ear, even my brother-in-law, and my sister, like, you need to go home. you need to go home. You need to go home. I'm texting him, like, when are you coming home? I'm calling him, FaceTiming him every day, letting him know about the kids, you know, like, when are you coming home? And it just wouldn't. But yet he was still making demands as to who could come in and out of my life. And the way he would control it is by watching me on the cameras. So then he put that narrative out there when something happened that he didn't like. Put the narrative, used the little camera footage of Jalen walking into his side of the house and me walking in to the front in the rain as, see, she's cheating. And yeah.
It really was. Jalen seemed like he was your protector. From anybody that's ever dealt with narcissists or knows narcissists, it definitely feels like he was trying to hardcore isolate you. And then, in my opinion, getting off on watching you in the secure, almost like a pet, right? The way you put your dog in a crate when you're going away, you know? And then you might watch the dog, but at the end of the day, the dog is supposed to just be in the house doing what it's supposed to do. And this is while he's been gone for 2 months. It's odd that as much as he kept trying to push you guys apart, you guys kept like, well, I actually have to give that to Jalen, just being protective, because again, obviously a romantic relationship form, but even if you take the romance out of it, just even seeing your friend or somebody you care about being treated like that, anyone that would bring out the protectiveness in them, you know? So, wow.
Right.
Yeah. That's amazing that you guys actually went through all this. This story is so deep. I see why you're saying it needs to be made into a movie. There's so many unbelievable things that at the moment probably felt like, that's normal. Yeah, it's normal, you know?
It was, yeah. It was perfectly normal. That was my life at that time.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, but like I said, I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg. This rabbit hole goes so deep that, I mean, I can't wait to show everyone.
Yeah, we cannot wait. Somebody take that script, shop it around. If any screenwriters around, please hit Falynn up. Probably writers are the only ones up this time. Hit Falynn up. This needs to be made into a manuscript. It just needs to be made into something that can be flipped in, because it almost sounds unbelievable. However, sadly enough, to anyone that's ever known a narcissist, it's textbook. You know what I'm saying? Different
Right.
sets, you know, some a little bit more glamorous, you got Brocky, you got this, you got that, you made good investments for what you can, and you made lemons into lemonade, but it was just incredibly. Wow. It just boggles my mind,
Yes, someone said, but why would y'all have to sneak in the house if he was staying there? I never got the point of him releasing that footage, because there was no point. That's why you don't get it.
Exactly.
He wasn't sneaking in. And it's crazy because I have the text messages of when I text Simon saying that door was broken and that be fixed. First of all, Jalen used to always go in that side of the house. But regardless, I told him it was raining and I was walking up. I wasn't going to walk in my heels in the mud. That's the thing, that you couldn't see that it was raining. And so I went through the front door. Jalen went through the side, and I said, go check that door that you usually go through, because it keeps busting open. And with it raining that night, it being windy, I was like, please make sure it's not open. And so he went over there to mess with Jalen. Is like, Mr. Fix It. He's like, whatever. So I told him to go fix it. See if he could, or if I needed to have a man come. So he went as we got back that night, which was midnight. He went to the side of the house. I went through the front. No one was sneaking around. And Simon knew that he was staying there. He always stayed there. That was not like a first time occurrence. He always stayed there. He just used that footage as if I were sneaking around.
That was, but the funny thing is, when he showed the footage, I remember, again, some people just believe it, or maybe they were paid bots, because you looked at it and you're like, what is this supposed to be? If you really, because he was bragging about having all the security system, if you're really trying to show me something, show me Jalen sneaking into Falynn's bedroom. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like they walked into the house in two separate things. Show me some real security footage if you want to pull that card. But I'm glad you could actually clear that up about how smoke and mirrors, he created a narrative. And who knows, maybe this is a narrative he was telling everybody as an excuse to make you look like a wonton person, because it seemed like with all the other girls that came out and said he loved to play victim. He loved to play like, I'm just a billionaire playboy. My wife doesn't appreciate me. Woe is me. You know, meanwhile, he's like literally harassing you while he's on vacation with other people, you know? You know?
Yeah. And if someone isn't so great, I wouldn't be bothering them. I haven't I haven't bothered him at all. You
Well,
know.
you haven't, but you know, to that point, it makes me think that footage he released in that show he did, it wasn't for us. It wasn't for the public. It wasn't, I mean, granted, trying to besmirch your reputation was like, oh, let's kill two birds with one stone. But I'm beginning to think more and more, it was just for Porsha. So she just thought that, like, you know, I don't even know what she was thinking, actually. I really don't. This is why they teach you stay out of other people's marriages. Love happens, you do what you want, but it can always blow up at you because you never know what somebody's dealing with, you know? You never know what somebody's dealing with. And now I guess he's just her problem now. I'm like, I'm glad that you guys are happy starting your family, and that is somebody else's problem being watched and monitored, and the mind games. Literally. I mean, honestly, Fallon, at least in this mind game, what? I guess your mind game was to be a stay-at-home mom. She's out there working at 7-Eleven, so you might have gotten the better end of the stick. And we all got to be tortured. At least you got tortured in like a little bit something comfy, you know, better than having to go and work at 7-Eleven, you know. But somebody actually made a good point where they said, I wish I had Tyler Perry's number on speed dial. Exactly. This deserves to be this is a Tyler Perry movie, like just on speed dial, right?
Right.
Oh, just on speed dial.
It truly, truly is. I mean, it's unfortunate because this is not what I wanted to happen. This is not how I wanted to be portrayed in the media. You know, I wanted to come out. I wanted to be an actor, but I didn't want it to be like this.
But you know what? Everything, it's coming out now. It's not besmirching. Now that you found your voice, your happiness, your glow, it's like, exactly. Now, I mean, it's funny how much things changed from the time when this dropped in May until how the public sees and looks at your ex now. It really is amazing. And he seems like he is a pretty skilled narcissist. So it could have gone either way. But from the time of the public thinking you're A, B, and C to now him being a laughing stock, you know, rolling their eyes, people in Atlanta being like, oh, brother, give me another break, you know, on having to turn his comments off because people are just dragging him when he just shows up. It's just, it's good that people are starting to see it, but I know it must put you, I know you don't wish bad on anyone, but it must put you on ease, at least that people are starting to see your light and how you shine, you know? So that's a good thing.
It does. Yeah, you're right. I didn't want that for him and his life at all, you know, but I can't want good for someone more than they want for themselves, you know, and I had to understand that. But I'm so grateful that people who either have a brain and or they just are spiritually connected, you know, they can understand me and they see it for what it is. And it's actually more people than I know, you know. I
Yeah.
didn't think that so many people were actually this intuitive, because I get all of my DMs. I'm referring to my DMs now, like they're so deep, and they get it. And so yeah, I am grateful for people not beating me up because I wasn't the strongest person in my marriage that I probably shouldn't have been in, but like I said, I learned a lot from it. I don't regret it. But I'm grateful for my life lessons, and I'm grateful to be able to be here to talk about it.
And we are grateful that you even took the time to talk about this. I'm definitely going to chop this interview up into, because you gave us so much.
Please do.
No, we're going to chop this. You gave us so much, and you were so direct and so forthcoming and so honest, you know. And it's like, yeah. And again, like you said, either people that are thinking people or just spiritually, and they sense the honesty coming off of you. But I will say, it is amazing. Fallon, people always talk about taking the high road. And it's a common joke, when they go low, we go to hell. But you literally are proof in the pudding that if you take that Taurus high road, keep it moving, and you literally just let somebody trip over their own self, over their own ego, their own pride, and you came out on top. It's amazing. You guys, it's a master class in actually keeping things moving and keeping things classy, for a lack of better words. But it's just amazing that you stood there, you did whatever, you defended yourself when you needed to, but nothing over. And then they just tripped over their own selves. And now the complete tide's turning. So congratulations. You are anointed in the blood and walking with your steps ordained. I can say that something is going on, blessed and highly favored, because this turnaround was amazing. It wasn't, but it's good to see. It's good to see the good guys actually triumph, because so long, it usually doesn't actually end up that way. Thank you so much. Exactly. You did it all with class, right? She literally is the textbook thing. You can do it with class and still be strong and still be true to yourself. You literally smothered him with positive energy and love.
And that's all I have for him. And it really is. I spent 5 years with this man. That is all I have for him. And I wish him luck. Like I always say, I do.
Yeah, you wish you. Falynn, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. You guys, for everybody watching, of course, Falynn Pinna, I am going to chop this video up into digestible pieces, and we're going to do what you can, you guys. Like, share, repost, whatever. But yeah, thank you so much, Falynn. So appreciate it so much, okay? Thank you to little baby Falynn for letting you stay up and happy during all of this, okay? Falynn Jr.
Right. She's knocked out. I just want to say, guys, if you don't if you haven't subscribed to my channel already on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. I will be going live tomorrow to discuss how I've been forced to live with my condition, which is ADHD, without my medication since I've been pregnant.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of adults don't know that they actually do have ADHD in the US. So I just wanted to shed light on that and how you catch it early in your children and what you can do to help prevent them having issues in school. So
I love that so much. Congratulations on that. You guys, make sure you go and check out Fallynn's channel. Like she said, she is going to be live. Sorry, it's like 6:30 a.m. over here. Sorry about that. This is my alarm that goes off every morning that I hit snooze 18 times, and still wake up at 8:30. But she is going to be live tomorrow night. You said it was 7 p.m., right? If you want to, you can, whenever, if it's already posted, I'll do a screenshot and post it on my community tab and support. And you guys also set your notifications, go over to her channel now and subscribe to the live. I know I'm going to be there because, as you guys can tell, I deal with ADHD too. So I would like to learn how I can medicate this. I've never got on medication. But you know what? It'd be nice to see your tips and tricks for how you keep things together, how you keep things together.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Falynn. And you guys can look up to the chopped up bits if you guys missed everything, so you can get everything, because she dropped some bombs. And tomorrow she's going to do even more with living with ADHD as an adult at 7 p.m. And honestly, you guys, just go check it out, because Falyn's channel is just fun, really lighthearted. It's just a good channel to watch. Sometimes when I'm cooking or bored or driving or just, I need to zone out, I'll put the channel on and just rock out to it. So you know what? Thank you so much, Falynn.
Thank you.
All right. And have a good night, Falynn Jr. Okay. I think it's not too early, but you should consider Tisa. It has a ring to it. I'm just saying, it has a ring to it. Tisa Pinna. Just think about it. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Falynn. And thank you everybody for hanging in there with us. All right. Everybody have a good night. Bye, little Tisa. Bye. Let's see. How do we end this? Sorry.